Rachel enjoyed sports, baking, sewing, among other things, and was well known for her servant's heart. Her favorite place was watching her grandkids play sports, though I don't think I was ever at an event for Taryn or Trevor that she was not there. Christine Joan Strano passed away unexpectedly at her home on Monday. Joan and husband Dick, of course, owned Sports Shack for many years, celebrated 52 years in marriage. A natural-born teacher, Joan taught health and phys ed and science in both Osborne and Hutchinson. Most recently, she was a substitute teacher in the Buhler district. Joan loved the outdoors, had a talent for growing flowers. Her greatest joy was being called Mom and Grandma. And our thoughts and prayers are with Kevin and Christy and Angie and Amy and their families as they deal with a difficult time and celebrate their moms. Armored Up, we'll talk to Coach Coles when we come back. This is the Midway Motors Drive to the Game on HKFL.
Continues after this. Stay tuned for tonight's kickoff conditions. And Aaron West sits down for a pregame chat with head coach Steve Warner. 95.9 HKFM. The Buhler Crusaders play here.
Are you building a house?
A swimming pool?
Are your lights flickering?
Call Schmidt Electric.
That's Schmidt Electric. 620-960-6755. Schmidt Electric will take care of all your electrical needs.
Got Spock?
Hey guys, how's practice going?
Papa, I can't hit the ball over the fence yet.
Well, Easton, that fence is 300 feet away and you're only 4 years old.
Papa, how long before we can hit the ball over the fence?
Boys, it's not always about home runs. It's about teamwork and always getting better. Ray Riffing's been around for 83 years and we still believe in teamwork and working hard.
So, Papa, it's going to take 83 more years until we're good?
No, Brogan. You'll be good long before that. Just keep working hard. Most of all, have fun.
Let's go hit some baseballs and get some ice cream.
Okay, boys, let's go.
Rip the right way, the Ray way.
Want lights that come on at dusk and turn off at dawn automatically? At Sunflower Electric, we have bulbs that can directly replace your existing 60-watt bulbs, providing extra security for a very low cost with no timers to set. This bulb includes an internal sensor that works in any direction and can be used indoor, outdoor, and in damp locations. Has a 15,000-hour lifespan and priced under $5 each. Call us at 620-662-0531 or stop by Sunflower Electric in Hutchinson, Great Bend, or Liberal.
At Dix Phillips 66, our family has kept motorists on the road for nearly 60 years. Hi, this is Janet Dick, inviting you to stop by our locally owned station at 1215 East 4th in Hutch. Dix offers top-tier gasoline, grab-and-go food options, and friendly service. Wherever you're headed, every journey begins with a stop at Dix Phillips 66, 4th and Stevens in Hutch.
Well, welcome back on our Midway Motors Drive to the game. Time to get armored up with Coach Jason Coles as we break down the McPherson Bullpups. Coach, you really don't a lot of lead up to this game, obviously, rivalry game, and a lot on the line tonight, so probably don't have to work too hard to get the kids amped up.
No, this is always a big game, and there's been some slugfests in the past, and it always seems to be, regardless of when it is in the season, it's always an exciting game and a game that is hard fought, and we know they're going to come out, and there's a lot of mutual respect between the two teams and the two staffs and the kids, and they know each other pretty well, and like you said, we've seen each other a lot over the years, especially recently, and it's not a hard game to get up for, especially going into senior night and being week 8 and all the things that ride with that. So it's not a hard night to get up for.
And just kind of looking at them on film, they hang their hat on running the football a little bit more than maybe they have in some past years, both with the talented tailback and then quarterback who likes to run as well.
Yeah, they definitely have some weapons in the backfield. They split time at the tailback position, and both of those, kids carry the ball well. They're different style of runners, so they, kind of a different 1-2 punch coming at you. And then the quarterback is definitely a weapon. He's a threat on the ground, and then obviously they still have a quality passing game. So, the backfield's pretty loaded with talent, and you can't focus on one thing, that's for sure.
Yeah, that was going to lead me to my next question. When you're looking at, being successfully defensively, is there one of those aspects that you really have to try and stop first?
Well, they are focused on establishing the run game, so that's a lot of where our focus goes, and it always has been. defensively, you look at what the other team does well, and that's where you focus your efforts. But really, one of the things about our defense that we've always looked at and always, why we stay in the 4-3 is, that it's a fundamentally sound defense. And you can't, go whole hog on one aspect of the game and sell out everything else, because a team like McPherson has everything else too. They may focus on run game as where we have our focus and where we want to attack, and try to get them out of being comfortable running the ball, because that's what they want to do. But they have, they have the ability to go to the air when they want to, and so we've got to be fundamentally sound in that area too.
You guys have had a lot of success the last few weeks in this winning streak of getting pressure on the quarterback, not bringing a lot of guys, but those guys up front doing a good job. With a running quarterback, any different technique to that? And obviously he's going to scramble when he is pressured, so keys to containing him.
A lot of it goes to, like I said, the fundamentally sound aspect of it, knowing your passing lanes, knowing your rush lanes, knowing your responsibilities on zone read, knowing your responsibilities on the option, being fundamentally sound in those areas, and then run into the ball. That's something I've been really proud of the kids this year, and especially over the last 4 games, is how well we've run to the ball. We had a couple of times last week where a kid would make a great play and get in the backfield and get to the running back, but miss a tackle, or the kid would break an arm tackle, and then have another kid there, and have another kid there, and another kid there. So running to the ball, being in pursuit, getting that piece of rock is a huge aspect of the game this week.
Very good, Coach. With more of our pregame right after this.
Hi, this is James with IdeaTech. We love bringing internet freedom to the residents and businesses of Buhler. IdeaTech is a proud supporter and the preferred internet provider of the Buhler Crusaders. As the Crusaders know, speed wins. We back up our lightning-fast internet with a customer-first philosophy. That means you will talk to a live person from our office in Buhler when you call in. If you're not already a customer, go to ideatech.com and click on Check Availability. Or you can call us at 620-543-5000 to inquire more about our services.
You already know H&R Block does taxes, but you may not know you can get expert help in person or virtually, or that our tax pros average 10 years of experience. You can even request the same tax pro every year, and your biggest possible refund is always guaranteed. At H&R Block, help is here. All tax situations are different. Not everyone gets a refund. Limitations apply. See hrblock.com/guarantees.
Stop by H&R Block in Lyons, Ellsworth, or Hutch today.
Pyle Law is a Kansas personal injury law firm. We handle cases in McPherson County and throughout the state of Kansas. Now is the time to call for your free consultation. I'm Liz Pyle, and my husband Tom has over 25 years of personal experience in all matters relating to Kansas personal injury law. Tom will take the time to evaluate your options, inform you of your rights, and walk you through the complicated process of seeking compensation for your personal injuries or loss. Contact Pyle Law at 620-241-9000.
If you're getting ready to buy or sell land, start a building project, or have a property line in question, call Alpha Land Surveys. With over 30 years of experience, you can trust Alpha Land Surveys. Call 728-0012 or go to alphalandsurveys.com.
The weather is changing and fall is here. Holly with Holly Sweet Treats. Come try our new fall flavors and be sure to order your Halloween cookies, cupcakes, and autumn treats. Follow us on social media. Come see us at 205 South Main in Hutchinson or call 888-YUM to place your order today.
Crusader football on HKFM.
And back here on our Midway Motors drive to the game. Before we continue, here's tonight's national anthem. The band will perform coming up later tonight at halftime. Good luck to them tomorrow as well in Lawrence at the Kansas Bandmasters Association Marching Championships. Busy night of football across the state and on our league or on our network tonight. Other games will be following include Sterling at Ellenwood, Nickerson at Smoky Valley, McPherson at Buhler, Conway Springs at Trinity Catholic, Garden Plain at Kingman, Gossel at Little River, and Lions at Hillsboro. Stream tonight's games on your phone with the Ad Astra Radio app, powered by Nextech Wireless. Shop the latest phones and devices at the best prices. 4A rankings here in Week 8, Miege, St. James, St. Thomas, still 1, 2, 3, Wamego, and Chanute. The Blue Comets sliding into the top 5 this week at number 5. We mentioned it's a perfect night for football. You could not ask for better weather. Tonight's kickoff conditions brought to you by Neufeld's Flooring, featuring one-of-a-kind flooring and accessories to pull your project together a few miles out of the city, light years out of the ordinary. Moles, boy, you have the best seat in the house, I think, tonight.
I really do. I mean, you can't paint a perfect picture than this. Sunset is absolutely gorgeous right now. 76 on the field, feels like it. Little to no wind. We have a slight breeze out of the south, blowing south to north. Visibility is great. We should have a great night for football today.
All right, sounds good. We'll take a break here. When we come back, thoughts from head coach Steve Warner. Our Midway Motors drive to the game continues after this on HKFM.
Neufeld's Flooring, proud supporter of Buhler High School activities. We are your experts for all your floor covering needs. Please make an appointment to visit us at 110 West 2nd, downtown Buhler, or give us a call at 620-543-2274. Go Crusaders!
If you're looking for a late starting college class, Hutchinson Community College may have what you need. It's not too late to get enrolled. We have classes starting throughout the semester. Call 620-665-3535 or email myfuture@hutchcc.edu today.
From their beginnings in 1989, Wifco Steel Products has grown to be the premier supplier of storage tank hardware in the U.S. and Canada, and they're still growing. Apply today at wifcosp.com. Wifco Steel Products, the experts in steel fabrication.
Well, back here on our Midway Motors drive to the game on senior night tonight here at Crusader Stadium. Time for pregame thoughts from head coach Warner. Coach, first thing I think about is we're here before the game tonight is just how awesome your fans have been this year and not giving up on these kids and filling up these stands every week. I think that's an important thing.
I do too. It's wonderful. And just not giving up on us is the biggest thing. You know, you have a lot of fans that are fair weather, and ours are not that. They've done a great job of supporting us, and I'm glad that we were able to put a good product on the field and represent Buhler the way we're used to representing Buhler.
You guys bring in a ton of momentum riding that 4-game win streak, but just in talking to the kids, I still feel like they kind of in their minds think they have something to prove.
I think so. They definitely do, and carrying a chip. You know, we didn't start out the way we wanted to, and we're playing with confidence now, and we know we're playing a good football team in McPherson, but we're going to have to get after it, and our defense needs to step up and continue to play the way they've been doing. And our offense, just we avoid the turnovers and have long, sustained drives, and we're going to be in great shape.
One thing the defense will have to adjust to tonight, a little more mobile quarterback than we've played in the last 2 or 3 weeks. Their second leading rusher at Alvord, he likes to run when he can.
He's very athletic. He throws the ball well and runs well. He's strong and big kid. Good baseball player for him, but we've got to stop both him and the running back, and we want to force him to have to throw on the run.
Your secondary's gotten so much better, that group with Luca Gotti and Jeremy Gentry, and hopefully you'll get Mitchell back some here in the postseason. But that group's got to feel a lot better now about their position than they did earlier in the year.
Well, they do, and their coverage is so much better, and then just the way that they attack against the run, the way they attack after the ball's been caught, I'm very pleased with the way they've been playing.
You mentioned those long, sustained drives, too. Obviously, the best defense is a good offense. And if you can just keep yours on the field, I think that's a great formula to win. Thoughts on those drives? You guys have moved at times, moved the ball really well. I thought last couple of weeks maybe running the ball the best you have all year.
Well, I think it has a lot to do with the line. They're starting to figure everything out, taking the proper steps. And it's crazy how important it is, but it's hard to teach somebody to do something that's not normal. How you walk and how you step in football is way different. So they're figuring it out, and I think Matthews helped too. And we saw that Mitchell, when he had his 99 yards against Augusta, that helped. But Matthews run hard and had 183 or 4 yards last week. So we're going to get him the ball any way we can.
You guys typically not nearly as penalized as your opponents have been this year. You know, one thing I think with a running team, a lot of times you notice just keep it on schedule on down and distance.
It's
and not
huge.
putting yourself in a bad spot.
Right. We don't want to have negative plays, and we don't want to have or penalties, because it just, when you want to get 4 yards in a cloud of dust, even though the Saints 3, I like 4 because then we're getting 12 in 3 carries. But anyway, yes, you can't have those negative plays. It just kills your offense, and it forces you to have to throw, and that's not what we want to do. Obviously, we're doing it much, much better. Jeffrey, it's not something we want to do 20, 30 times a game.
All right. Best of luck on the field. We'll talk to you after the game.
Thank you.
Give you other action around the league. And Chris gives you his 3 keys to victory. Midway Motors, for every mile of life. The Buhler Crusaders play on 95.9 HKFM.
The right price for the right protection? It exists. Hi, I'm Andrew Parr, your Allstate agent in Hutchinson, and I can help you get the right protection for the right price. Contact me for a free quote. Call me today or stop by my office in Midtown Hutchinson at 13th and Main. Are you in good hands?
As your community bank, Prairie Bank of Kansas is always looking for ways to make banking more convenient, like e-statements. Eliminate the need to file your monthly statements. Now you can be notified the moment your statement is available and easily access it online. Consent. Prairie Bank of Kansas. How banking should be.
Crusader football on HKFM.
Well, our coverage this season brought to you in part by Sunflower Electric Supply, by Wade Pat Insurance, by Dick's Phillips 66, Buhler Dental Care, and by Schmidt Electric. Kind of interesting. Our teams are here. They're ready to go, but we have no officials yet. So,
yeah, as a former AD, this is like the most terrifying thing in the world. Yeah, the officials not being there. But I didn't see him earlier, but hopefully they didn't go to McPherson.
Yeah, that'll give us a little more time here. Augusta, I think that might be an even matchup. Chapman at Clearwater, El Dorado at Independence, Circle at Mulvane. Has a lot of implications. Andale at Pratt, Wellington at Rose Hill. I think that's a game Wellington goes to Rose Hill and wins. And then Valley Center at Andover Central. Here they come. But there's going to be, just within those games in the AVCTL, that's going to decide quite a bit of the middle of that playoff race in the West, where everything is smushed together.
You move up. Teams that lose tonight have a chance to move down. And there's still a lot to be decided on who plays who a week from tonight.
All right. Tonight's teams, I Need a Cleaners, can help you look like a winner. Expert dry cleaning, professional shirt service. I Need a Cleaners in Hutchinson and Newton. It's where to take your clothes. And we'll get to the coin toss as soon as they are ready. Captains from each team set to go. We mentioned no Jace Henderson in the middle of that defense tonight. No Matt Eddy, or check that, I'm sorry, no Mitchell McDaniel in the backfield tonight. Both of them.
Speaking caps over here. Real quick, here's my nice and trusty coin here. Logo as the heads. There's tails, right? Your choice today, right? Tails. Tails? He's got tails. Let's see what we got. We have tails. You have one toss. You want to defer? He'll take the ball. What's that, your kicker defend?
And they will kick, defending the scoreboard closest to their sideline.
All right, maybe one of the few times Buhler has lost the coin toss this year. How about some keys to the game, buddy?
All right, well, I know we talk about all the time turnovers. They do. This week, Coach Warner in the Roundtable newsletter just put, wow, Matthew, thank you. Matt Eddy last week, 184 yards, 1 rushing touchdown, 4 receptions, 69 yards for the second half. McPherson has struggled this entire season in the second half. So if this game is tight going into halftime.
Neal now 49% completion ratage on the year. Could go over 1,000 yards tonight. 7 touchdowns, 11 INTs. Matt Eddy will get his second start at tailback tonight. 60 carries, 306 yards coming in, averaging 5 yards a tote. In the receiving court, of course, Braden Gentry, the fullback, a big part of that. Will Hanen at tight end. And Matt Eddy has been Mr. Everything this year. Also big receiving numbers, 644 yards on the season. We'll get that offensive line in just a moment as Brock Richardson set to kick off for the Pups. Buhler has 2 men back, and it's going to get into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Buhler will start on offense at the 20-yard line. Up front for the Crusaders at the tackles, Riley Parks and Blake Hageman, Keaton Parsons and Brian Regier, the guards. Ty Goins at center. Boy, guess we're going to see right away what this offense can do against this 4-2-5 defense.
And with that 4-2-5, they're bringing pressure from all over the place, but they have really struggled this year stopping the run.
First play from scrimmage. Jeff Neal under center, underway with Crusader football here on KWHK Hutchinson. It's a left side run. Aaron West, Chris Shank, Carson Moeller with you. And a loss of a yard on the left side for Matt Eddy, driven back to the 19. For McPherson, an inexperienced line up front. Drew Wayner, Jayton Gum, Logan Peterson, Mason Miller there without to their stellar defensive end. One of them many injuries, Sam Becker. They'll bring in a third and long here.
Yeah, good penetration that time, being brought by the defensive end on the near side. I think it was number 80, Sam Becker.
Oh, so Becker is playing tonight.
Yeah, we thought he was.
He's been out.
Yeah, and we thought he was going to be out. I mean, every indication I'd heard from McPherson folks was that he was not going to be available.
All right, so they sneak one. Steps up in the pocket, eludes pressure, and hits Rogers up the field at the 35-yard line. It's a first down. And inside the 45-yard line, Austin Rogers with a nice catch, thrown a little bit behind him, but able to haul it in for a first down.
That is Austin Rogers' second catch of the entire season. The last couple years on JV, he's been a real big threat, so good to see him getting involved here on senior night.
Goes for 26 yards, and like Jeffrey eluding the pressure there.
Oh, he had bodies coming at him from left and right. He really stepped up in the pocket and delivered a fastball there.
Stay out of the gun on 1st and 10 here. Throws over the middle high, incomplete, looking right at the 50-yard line. And that sailed over the head of, I believe, Owen Schmidt, the intended target. Second down.
Yeah, Owen Schmidt was just kind of set up in a little curl route underneath, and there was one of the linebackers moving in space over there near him, and so I think he was worried about getting popped there right as the ball arrived.
Football at the left hash mark of the 46, 2nd and 10. 5th play of the drive coming up. Back to the I formation, back to the ground of Matt Eddy, and an inside carry. And hard yards by Matt Eddy tonight, as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that will be it. Buhler's going to have to open things up a little bit to keep this McPherson defense honest. Maybe looking for a screen pass at some point here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Coach Warner dials up here, as Buhler has not gotten a lot of push up front. Mack this time just going with 3 down linemen. They have been loading the box with 5 on those previous plays.
Trips right Jeff out of the gun on 3rd down and 10. Third down of this drive. Jeffrey's going to scramble, throws over the middle high and incomplete. He was looking for the receiver at the 45 of McPherson. That was incomplete. His second incompletion on this drive. It'll be 4th down, intended for Brendan Skripczyk at tight end.
That time in coverage, it was Owen Fetch, one of the safeties in coverage for McPherson, but that's where their defense is set up to do. Just
definitely not the best punt we've seen off the foot of Jeff Neal. He had the return man all the way back at the 10, expecting to boom it, and it kind of went sideways off his foot, and it goes out of bounds right at about to the 40-yard line.
Yeah, it was a definite shank, and unfortunately that gives McPherson opportune field position to open their first drive of the evening.
9:45 to go in the first. No score. McPherson from their own 40. Steve Warner in his 16th season as head coach here, looking for win 149. This is the 8th season now for Jace Pavlovich on the other side. And here is Gum, hit hard on 1st down and brought to the turf. Actually, that is not Gum. My apologies. They've rotated a couple of guys at tailback this year. Jayden Gum and Dawson Gottwald, both seniors. That was Gottwald on 1st down. Gets it forward for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd and 6.
And Gottwald is a huge tailback, 6'3", 194, and he really lowered the shoulder that time. Will Haynens, who brought him down after a couple-yard gain.
Albert out of the gun. They'll hand it off again. Nothing there as the Black Knights push him back. Gottwald came in. 81 carries, 381 yards, 86 carries, 545 yards for Jayden Gum. Good stop there on the right side. No gain in 3rd down and 6.
Yeah, fantastic play made by Cash Carson. He's given up a ton of size, but Cash did exactly what you're supposed to do, hit him low and brought him down after short to no gain.
Carson getting the started tackle again tonight with Jace Henderson out on third down. Alvord back to pass. Receivers down the field being chased. He'll let it go and out of bounds, incomplete. It's going to be fourth down. Defensively for Buhler, Alex Lee having a great year at DN. Brian Regier, Chase Gentry, and Cash Carson in the middle. Hanan, Gentry, Eddie, the linebackers, Gotti, and Jeremy Gentry, the safeties, and then Bryce Root, Tavian Gilliam on the corners.
And great job that time. Brian Regier was who got the hurry that time, forced him to throw it away. And McPherson's first offensive series, I thought it was going to be a 3-and-out, but they're going for it.
Well, Alvord is also their punter. So definitely going to have to be ready for that tonight for the quick kick. They are going to punt the ball here. Alvord also the punter for the Pups. And Matt Eddy's going to try to get back. I think he's going to be fortunate that this ball is going to go into the end zone and not set Buhler up with a pretty terrible field position.
And that's why it's so beneficial to have a senior punt returner that knows the game of football. Eddie got over close to where if he needed to make a play on it, he could, but he wisely let it go beyond him to the end zone, and Buhler has decent field position at the 20.
All right, we've seen each team moles on offense here, and we thought it might be a defensive game tonight, setting up to look like that.
Yeah, definitely has been. Austin Rogers with the great catch. Only real positive play here. Look for the Crusaders to start chipping away at this McPherson defense down this drive right here.
Buhler first and 10 at their own 20, their second drive of the night. And a little shovel in the backfield as Jeffrey was under pressure to his left. Gets it to Matt Eddy forward, and Eddy will pick up 2 yards up to the 22.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a called play or just a scramble situation, but great job by Neal keeping the play alive. Good old-fashioned pitch on the shovel pass, and it's positive yardage for Buhler.
Call it almost 3, second down and 7, 8:02 to play in the first and no score. And Jeffrey fumbles the ball, picks it up, scrambles with it, throws it downfield, and incomplete. I thought Jeffrey, maybe better option there would have been to tuck and run. It looked like he had some yardage on the right side, but nonetheless avoids a negative play by being able to pick up the football quickly and scramble away.
Yeah, that ball felt like it was on the turf for an eternity, and we were talking how big turnovers have been for Buhler. Good to see us avoid one there, and we have a achievable third down here.
They're down and 7. Jeff out of the gun. 2 receivers left, 2 right. Eddie is the back in the backfield. He'll stay in to protect. Ball's tipped at the line of scrimmage and goes over the head of Tavian Gilliam out of bounds. Gilliam was not in on the play. It'll be fourth down.
Yeah, so the incompletion will force Buhler to punt away, so both teams trading 3-and-outs here on back-to-back possessions.
Well, it is amazing. We talk about this every week, but how much mistakes set a running team back. Staying on down and distance and something like a fumbled snap for a running team is a big deal. Here's another short punt by Jeff, and it angles out of bounds. We'll see where they mark this out at. It'll be the 35. So McPherson will have their second crack with the football on offense. 28 catches, 477 yards. Blaze Hoover, another talented guy, a junior at 6'1". 7:42 to play in the first. McPherson from their own 35. It'll be Hunter Alvord, the senior quarterback, out of the gun. He is pressured, slips away, and almost runs for a first down. And that was a difference we talked about as he gets 8 yards in the pregame. Last 4 weeks, Buhler sacks that quarterback. Alvord is too smart for that.
Yeah, they run a lot of read option, and they talk about a quarterback having escapability. Alvord's one of those guys that really good at breaking out of tackles, and that time Cash Carson saved Buhler's bacon.
Gets 8 yards up to the 43. Alvord came in. He's carried the ball coming into the game for 509 yards, thrown for 1,077. Takes a high snap here, hands it off, and McPherson's got the first down and more. Here goes Dawson Gottwald, the distance, touchdown McPherson. He broke out of a tackle at the line of scrimmage, and there was nobody in the middle of the field to stop him.
Gottwald, we talked about it, a huge back, 6'3", 194, and Buhler spread kind of thin that time. Mack had a spread set, so there wasn't a lot of depth to the defense, and once he got past the second level, there was nobody there.
So Mack will score first here on their second series of the night. It's a 57-yard touchdown run for Dawson Gottwald, his 4th score of the season. And the Pups come on for the extra point. This is Blaze Hoover, who knocks it through to make it 7-0. Hoover now a perfect 19 of 19 on the season. 7-0 early here on HKFM and the Crusaders Sports Network.
From the minute you walk into Dr. Ediger's office, it's very cozy and warm. The gals that work there are just super sweet and super kind and really make an effort to get to know you and ask about you and your family. So they've definitely built relationships with their customers at Dr. Ediger's.
Hi, this is Dr. Corey Ediger, inviting you and your family to call me at 663-9136. That's 663-9136. Or stop by my office on East 30th to make an appointment today at Ediger Family Dental.
Where patients come first.
Registration is open for Hutch Rec Youth basketball programs. Basketball is a great activity for growing children because it involves dribbling, throwing, catching, and pivoting, all of which help improve motor skills by using large muscle groups. But our main goal is to have fun. We have single grade leagues available from 1st through 6th grades. For more information or to register, stop by Hutch Rec downtown or visit hutchrec.com.
Crusader football on HKFM.
Here's the kickoff after the 57-yard score for the Pups. Nice return here for Buhler. Matthew Eddy slips free of an early tackle. Gets up to the 39-yard line. 2 plays, 57 yards. And the, rather 65 yards, excuse me, in the 57-yard touchdown run by Gottwald. We'll see how this Buhler offense can respond now.
Yeah, it's all about, you don't have to get it all back on one play, but Buhler needs to avoid an empty possession here.
Best starting position the Crusaders have had in 3 drives. They've punted twice from their own 38. They'll line up in the I formation. 6:50 to go in the first. And on the ground, they fake to the fullback. Left side run for the tailback. Biggest run of the night, and that's not saying a lot for Matt Eddy. Tough sledding out there as he gets 2 yards to the 40.
And Sam Becker in on another stop. I can't tell you what a shot in the arm it is for McPherson's defense getting back Becker tonight.
Yeah, they've kind of hung their hat on the years over those talented defensive ends. One of them's playing at K-State now.
Stufflebean, every time I see him out there, I'm glad to see him in purple and not in red and white anymore.
But Becker is another one of those guys, super talented. Second down and 8 with the clock running here. Buhler will get to the line with 10 on the clock. Right in the middle of the field, going right to left. They put a wing in at the left side. Receiver in motion to the right. They want to go one-on-one. That is Eddy down the field, who almost makes a spectacular catch at the 30-yard line, but just can't haul it in. Incomplete, it's 3rd down.
Yeah, that was one of those plays. The instant you saw Eddy going in motion to the right, you could tell that they were going to try to take a home run shot that time, but great coverage. Luke Schrader, the safety, came up and kept step for step with Eddy, and he'll bring up a 3rd and long.
Now they'll go spread here. Gilliam, Schmidt, and Rogers all check into the game at receiver. 3rd and 8 here. Buhler is really struggled to move the ball here early in this game. Out of the gun, Jeff slings it over the middle, and hot potato well over the head of Schmidt, incomplete. Jeffrey's not had a lot of time to throw the ball, and that's going to be another punt for the Crusaders.
Yeah, that time McPherson had a 4-man rush. They tried to go quick slants, Buhler did, and the ball was just too high for Owen Schmidt to try to make a play on it.
So for a 3rd time, Buhler facing a punt here in the first quarter. Still 6:01 to play. 7-0 McPherson on a 57-yard touchdown. Off the right leg, much better punt for Jeff Neal this time. It's going to bounce and unfortunately take a McPherson roll at the 30. And then roll backwards to the 35. That's where McPherson will start 1st and 10.
Good coverage that time. Cruz Hirschberger was the Crusader that downed the football because that thing was rolling the wrong direction, rolling to the north. So McPherson, the crazy thing is I think this is the worst field position they've had tonight, and they have the ball at the 35. So they've had fantastic field position tonight.
This is where they started their last drive and took just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Hunter Alvord last year was 10 of 18, 185 yards in the loss against the Crusaders. Time to throw here. Goes one-on-one, and goodness. Touchdown McPherson, 1 play. Tucker Pelnar wide open. Tucker Pelnar had a sea of space between him and the defender, and just like that, the Pups are up 2 scores.
Yeah, and it was just a straight go route. Pelnar was just, you could tell he was shot out of a cannon from the time they snapped the football. He's their main deep threat. He's just 5'8", but he's a speedster. And Coach Pavlovich earlier in the week was saying if they can just get 1 of 3 of those long balls in a game, they're happy. And That's 1 for 1 right now to Pelnar on the long ball.
So just like that, it pops up 2 scores, 5:43 to go in the first. And Buhler's offense is so far, unfortunately, barely moved the ball. Hoover stays perfect on the air. He hasn't missed a PAT yet. 5:43 to play in the first. 14-0 McPherson here on HKFM.
Have an appliance that doesn't work or a yard full of scrap metal and don't know what to do with it? Hi, this is Kathy from Midwest Iron, and you can save the environment and put a little money in your pocket by bringing it to us at 700 South Main. Call us at 620-662-0551. Midwest Iron, recycling for tomorrow's environment.
At Dick's Phillips 66, our family has kept motorists on the road for nearly 60 years. Hi, this is Janet Dick, inviting you to stop by our locally owned station at 1215 East 4th in Hutch. Dick's offers top-tier gasoline, grab-and-go food options, and friendly service. Wherever you're headed, every journey begins with a stop at Dick's Phillips 66, 4th and Stevens in Hutch.
Are you building a house?
A swimming pool?
Are your lights flickering?
Call Schmidt Electric.
That's Schmidt Electric. 620-960-6755. Schmidt Electric will take care of all your electrical needs.
Got Spock?
At Morton Salt in South Hutch, we're passionate about what we do and how we do it. That's because we're helping to improve people's lives in more ways and places than ever before. Hi, this is Evan Moody, General Manager. To learn more, go to mortonsalt.com.
Crusader football on HKFM.
Back with the kickoff at a 14-0 game, and Buhler will return it to near the 27-yard line. Well, 3 plays and 2 touchdowns for McPherson has got to the Crusaders in a hole. And let's see what this offense can muster. Also, it's been tough sledding out there tonight. Got to pick it up here.
Yeah, I mean, you take those 2 plays out. Those are big energy switchers toward McPherson, so Buhler has to keep their heads up, make something good happen.
All right, formation. Jeff throws, caught, far side, across the 35-yard line. And was that Luca Gotti over there that caught the pass?
Luca Gotti was isolated over there on the far side, caught it in space, and
at the 36.
Good pickup on first down, and when you've had an opponent score so quick, you got to get something going offensively fairly quickly. Good to see Buhler come out swinging.
That'll set up a 2nd down and 1. Jeff now 1 of 5 in the passing game. Play action here, rolling to his left. And the ball's batted. McPherson, did they pick it off? I believe they did. The ball was batted at the line of scrimmage. And Jayton Gum, one of the defensive tackles, comes away with it.
Yeah, you don't see D tackles get picks very often, and Jayton looked like he was the defensive player that tipped the ball up into the air, got tipped up. As he was falling to the turf, just cradled it in, and unfortunately Buhler turns it over for the first time tonight.
Well, if it could go wrong, it has here in this first half. 4:58 to play. McPherson is going to have the ball back from the Buhler 35 here, leading by 2 touchdowns. Alvord in the backfield trying to run to the right side and chased out of bounds in the Buhler sideline. No gain on the play. They went with an empty backfield set, designed a quarterback run there, and that did not work.
Yeah, that time Buhler did a great job of pursuing downhill and just ran him out of bounds on the Buhler sideline. But yeah, it was a called quarterback sweep. He just took the shotgun snap, went to his right. And we talked about Alvord's a very talented player. Carson, you were talking about he's heading on to play some college ball next year.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that you look out on whatever field, court, whatever he's on, you know that he's an athlete, and he's proven that tonight.
Shotgun again, wants to go one-on-one. Ball is batted incomplete, but that's going to be offensive, or rather defensive pass interference inside the 10. That's likely going to set up a 1st and goal scenario here.
Well, the good thing in college,
it's not from the
it's not a spot foul. It's just a 15-yarder.
The 15 yards. You're right.
So they are going to be just shy of the red zone.
They call defensive pass interference on Jeremy Gentry, the safety, who I think has really played well. Another one of those sophomores down the stretch.
Well, he has just been so aggressive this year and really helped to improve the physicality of that Buhler secondary.
That moves the football to the 21, just outside the red zone. Well, interesting against these Crusaders this year. Of the touchdowns they've given up 16, just 2 of those have come in the red zone. And here's a run up the middle on first down. Nothing there. Yeah, that's an awfully generous spot. All the way down to the 18.
Yeah,
That's where they're going to mark the football.
Braden Gentry and company did a great job of swarming to the football and knocking him down, and I agree. Definitely a helpful spot to Mac.
Gain of almost 4, second down in the 7. Albert out of the gun with Gum to his left. 2 receivers, 181 catches that football on the far side. It'll be first and goal at the 10-yard line.
And Hoover, just in that long line of Hoover athletes that have played at McPherson, a guy that you
taken to the right side and eaten up. Great job of the Black Knights. And Jayton Gum got swallowed up in the backfield all the way back to the 17-yard line. It's a loss of almost 7 yards. And what are they saying about the runner's knee being down?
They said he did lose the football, but they said his knee was down before the ball came out. Great job nonetheless by Braden Gentry. He really brought the lumber on that play.
So they're going to mark the ball back up at the 14. Everybody ended up in a pile at the 17 when that ball came loose, but the runner's knee down. Second down here. Hoover out of the to about the 9-yard line, looking at third down here.
And Alver just a very experienced scamper. I mean, he is a guy that, as the pocket collapsed that time, could feel it, stepped up, and was able to escape and make something out of nothing right there.
Got 5 yards out of it. Hoover's a pretty good kicker. Mentioned perfect on the PATs. He's also 6 of 7 in the field goal game this year, so they are in well within his range.
And Mac going with a hard delayed count here.
It'll be third down and goal from the 9. Hoover to throw, far side, ball comes out, Buhler picks it up. Returned by the, well, or did they?
They're going to say it was an incomplete pass. So,
boy, the officials being very friendly. So I know at most levels of football you have to have possession and make a football move, right? Is that pertaining to the high school level?
Yep.
For the PAT mentioned, he is 6 of 7 this year with a long of 31. This will be from 25 and no problem.
Laces out, he hit the upright, no good.
Oh no, it's no good.
Yeah,
you're right. Hit the upright to the far side.
Yeah, I can see where he missed it, Aaron, because it's right at the line where the windows are at. But yeah, it hit the left upright and bounced out.
Well,
no
the
good.
Crusaders can take that as a break, huh?
No doubt. Hey, when nothing's going your way, you never know what can swing momentum the way of your team. So a great break for the Crusaders as he misses just a second field goal of the entire season.
Unfortunately, Buhler's going to get the ball back deep in their own territory.
Yeah, there's a long way for Buhler to get to pay dirt here.
Well, down 2 touchdowns, 14-0, 3:04 to go in the first. They'll start first and 10 after the missed field goal from their own 20-yard line. And Jeffrey under center. They line up in the I. They go with a 2 tight end set here on first down. Jeff to throw.
Out. Gotti knew he was going to get drilled. Good job by the senior hanging on to possession and picking up 6 yards on first down.
Football at the far side of hash mark of the 25. It's going to be a second down and a long 4, short 5 here, down to 2:38 to play in this opening period. 14-0 McPherson, a third down. Crusader football this season brought to you in part by Adams Brown Strategic Allies and CPAs, by Ineta Cleaners, Holly's Sweet Treats, by APAC Shears, and by Alpha Land Surveys. Another third down. Peter has had trouble converting those so far in this game. They did convert 1 on the pass to Rogers on their first series.
Yep, and with Buhler struggling.
Going right, wants to throw, and well, I think Gotti's looking for the flag, thinking he got held on the far side. No dice and 4th down.
Yeah, Gotti's getting double covered by the McPherson secondary, and as he's shown the ability to catch the football tonight, so Buhler unfortunately will be forced to punt it away on a 3 and out.
This is where having to start Matt Eddy at tailback hurts you because you can't use him to stretch the field.
Yeah, no doubt.
So Buhler is going to have to punt again. This will be their 3rd punt, along with a turnover. McPherson has maintained possession for most of this first quarter. Still 2:10 to play. It's been a long first quarter.
Both teams are putting it upstairs, and so anytime you have a lot of throws, clock stops on all those incompletions. So it definitely has slowed this game to a crawl. Well, thing you got to be worried about for the Black Knight defense here, McPherson's shown that they want to go for the kill shot, so be ready for them to tack downfield here right on first down.
McPherson punt, touchdown, missed field goal, first down here. And a far side scramble, 2 or 3 yards there on that run.
One of the seniors,
Gottwald.
Yep, Alex Lee, the D end on that side, doing a great job fighting off his block and dropping Gottwald right at the line.
Got a yard to the 42. McPherson's going to go no huddle here on second down, although now they'll pause and look to the sideline for the play. 1:39 to go in the first, 14-0. Hoover out of the gun, takes the high snap. Delayed handoff, then keeps the football and goes nowhere. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. I'm never a fan of those plays that take a long time to develop. You just really give the defense a perfect opportunity to get set up.
Yeah, and just the respect being showed to Alvord, his running ability. Buhler going straight man across the board and all these spread sets, really trying to keep the box loaded up to keep Alvord from getting loose again.
That's going to put Gentry in a high pressure situation, one-on-one on the far side with Pelnar. Hoover to throw, and he wants to go that way. Already has one pass interference call against him tonight. This time overthrows Pelnar on third down.
Yeah, good job by Gentry that time. They've thrown Pelnar the go route at him earlier. He scored. Other time he got the pass interference, so that was a good situation there as Gentry gets the stop.
Incomplete up the field around the 25. Yeah, saw that coming with single coverage on the far side. Good job that time by Gentry. And we'll see if McPherson elects to punt or not. 57 seconds they will, and Matt Eddy's going to scamper back. 57 seconds to go in the quarter, and this one, Matt's going to have to pick it up at his own 6. Returns it up the middle to the 15-yard line. Boy, can I tell you what a blessing it is to have Matt Eddy back there, a guy who can make a quick, smart decision, because special teams, you don't usually notice them until they hurt you.
Yeah, and fielding a bouncing punt down near your own 5-yard line when you're down 2 scores against a huge rival, that's a pressure situation, and Matt Eddy
needed a little bit more space to break free there. Gets to the 16, a gain of 1. On the first down, Allen Samuels, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Hutch come by. Let's be friends. Boy, I tell you what, close to having space on that line, but just not quite.
Yeah, Mason Miller, the near side defensive end, just collapsed right on Eddy after the couple-yard pickup. So, you know, those two, Becker and Miller, really doing a good job bookending that 4-man front.
They'll stay in the eye on second down and 9. And Jeff to throw, pressured. Oh, goodness. Boy, I tell you what, if Gilliam turns incomplete far side at the 40, but if Gilliam just turns around a little bit sooner, he can go back to the ball.
Yeah, there's an old saying that once the ball goes up in the air, your route is to the ball, and Gilliam was not looking back towards the football soon enough, and so unfortunately it falls harmlessly incomplete.
And we remember Mason Miller from basketball last year.
Yes.
His one job was to foul Jack. Third down and 8, they want to throw. Screen pass Eddy near side across the 15, and it's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it. Well, I've been impressed with how tough this MAC defense has been. Into first, 14-0 McPherson here on HKFM.
Schools and communities we all care about. The Insurance, forward together.
Is your team paying too much for health insurance? I'm Ashley McClure with IVP Benefits Consulting Group. As an independent agency, we represent every major carrier and can find your company the best rates available. Call me today at 620-904-7010 or go to ashlicanhelp.com.
At Dix Phillips 66, our family has kept motorists on the road for nearly 60 years. Hi, this is Janet Dick, inviting you to stop by our locally owned station at 1215 East 4th in Hutch. Dix offers top-tier gasoline, grab-and-go food options, and friendly service. Wherever you're headed, every journey begins with a stop at Dix Phillips 66, 4th and Stevens in Hutch.
Hi, this is Buhler head football coach Steve Warner. If you'd like to stay connected with what's going on within our program, I'd like to invite you to sign up for the Buhler Football Weekly Roundtable. It's a newsletter emailed weekly to Buhler High School football supporters. To sign up for the Football Weekly Roundtable, just send an email to crusadersrt@gmail.com. That's crusadersrt@gmail.com.
Crusader football on HKFM.
Well, Jeff Neal again set to punt the ball away. Low snap. He's going to have to take off with it. And it's going to end up a turnover on downs as he just maybe got back to the original line of scrimmage and then ran out of bounds. Low snap, elects not to try and punt the football. And, boy, the snowball just keeps getting bigger here in this first half.
Yeah, so the Black Knight defense really with their backs up against the wall here. McPherson's going to set up 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line, and Buhler's going to have to try to find a way here to keep him off the board.
From the Buhler 15, 1st and 10. It'll be Hunter Alvord out of the shotgun. 2 receivers left, 1 right. They'll go with the quarterback run. Forward progress up to the 13. Alvord gets 2. 2nd down coming up. Well, I've seen this team come back from bigger holes before, but they've got to start having some positive things go their way.
Well, there is a massive difference in football being down 2 scores and 3 scores, so Buhler really got to try to keep this to a 2-score lead.
They were down 17 in this game last year. Trips left on the 2nd down and dropped incomplete. The tight end, Mason Miller, in the near side at the 12-yard line.
Yeah, and I can remember Mason Miller, you talked about it, Aaron. He is, as you say in basketball, a rim protector, not a guy that handles the ball much, and thankfully for the Crusaders, he didn't hold on to that one.
It's one of those guys, you have 5 fouls, use them well.
Yes. Kind of reminds me of old K-State reference, Luis Colon. He was a guy that you didn't want shooting, but he defended the rim.
3rd down and 8 here. Key play on the 3rd down. Pups might go for it on 4th down, and they will run up the middle. Not much there. That is Gottwald. He is the bigger of the 2 backs. You can really see the difference. Gottwald, 6'3", 190. Has about 20 pounds on Jayton Gum. It'll be 4th down, clock running, 11 minutes to go in the half, 14-0.
Great stuff that time, near side defensive end. Brian Regier, Big B getting the stop, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Mac decides to do if they want to try to rebuild Hoover's confidence.
They've kept, for the moment, they've kept Alvord on the field.
And they don't have a kicking tee out there either, so it looks like they're going.
I think this is a best case scenario for Buhler if they can stop him right here. Alvord out of the gun, 2 receivers either side. They're going for it on 4th down. Pressure off the edge by Matt Eddy. Alvord throws, and touchdown McPherson. Far side of the field, right up against the out-of-bounds line. It is caught for a touchdown by Blaze Hoover.
Yeah, and Hoover did that perfectly. He basically just found an open spot in the end zone, stayed in bounds, and just kept his eyes on the quarterbacks. That way, when Alvord was flushed to his right, he had direct line of sight, and Alvord delivers the fastball there, and Hoover scores.
4 plays, 15 yards, and a 3rd score. And Blaze Hoover just caught the touchdown pass, puts it through the uprights, and just like that, it is 21-0. 10:26 to go in the half here on HKFL.
Early scores in tonight's Ad-Astro Sports Network football action. McPherson leading Buhler 14-0. Conway Springs 20-20 Catholic 0. Smoky Valley leads Nickerson 14-0. Hillsboro 7 Lions 0. Sterling leading Ellenwood by a score of 8-0. Kingman up on Garden Plain 21-0. Other scores around the area. Andale leading Pratt by a score of 6-0. Cheney 7 Halstead 0. Wichita Collegiate 14 Heston 0. Tuscan beat Chase in a game that was played Thursday night. Final score there was 52-6. With the scoreboard update, I'm Lucky Kid.
Hi, this is Randy Gotti with the Buhler Booster Club. Please consider membership in our Booster Club to support all students at Buhler High School. Follow the Buhler Booster Club and the Buhler Crusader Closet on Facebook and Twitter to keep up to date with new arrivals and activity schedules.
Hi, this is Serena from Midway Motors. To help fight breast cancer, Midway will be donating $50 for every vehicle sold during the month of October in hopes of raising $15,000. Visit midwaymotors.com to learn more.
Crusader football on HKFM.
Kickoff taken at the 10, far side by the Crusaders. And Luca Gotti on the return. This feels like one of those pivotal moments in the game, guys, where Buhler needs something positive to happen on offense.
Yeah, on a night when yards have been hard to come by, if Buhler can just have a sustained drive of any sort and get any sort of points on the board, you at least have a little bit of momentum, because this thing, unfortunately, could spin out of control even faster than it is right now.
Buhler from their own 27, far side hash mark, going left to right here in the second quarter. Two wings on the right side, and they flip it to Matt Eddy that way. And this MAC defense has come to shut down everything tonight. That's going to be a loss. Back to the 25. Crusader football coverage this season brought to you in part by Wifco Steel Products, by Daylight Donuts, Midway Motors, by Rod's Tire and Service, and by Neufeld's Flooring. Plenty of scores coming up a little bit later in our Buhler Dental Care scoreboard. Complete. Owen Schmidt had the catch. Did he have it long enough to be a completion? I think they're going to say no.
Yeah, he was lit up as he got hit from the back, and ball popped out. Lucky it wasn't a turnover right there.
I thought he had it long enough to have possession, but I guess not.
Yeah, at the high school level, like you said, they typically rule incompletions, where at other levels they might rule a catch. But yeah, Jarrett Myers with the big shot there for Mac.
So third down and 12. And a timeout taken here by head coach Steve Warner. Our timeouts this year brought to you by Pile Law. If you, a friend or a family member, been the victim of an accident, contact Pile Law at Pile Law. Tom takes the time to evaluate your options.
And this is kind of one of those timeouts that Buhler called to just try to circle the wagons. Things aren't going our way. People are maybe getting frustrated. You desperately need to try to keep the offense on the field. So it's one of those moments, like we said, if Buhler can just keep this drive going, that's going to be a small victory. And in order to come back in a game where you're down 3 scores, you got to start with the small victories.
Yeah, it's one of those things that, hey, just take a deep breath. We've got this far. You know, we can group back. We've done this before. We can do it again. We just got to breathe.
All right, 9:42 to go here in the first half after the timeout. First burned in the half by the Crusaders. 21-0. 3 touchdowns by the Pups. 2 in the first quarter. And then after a low snap on a punt, Jeff Neal ran the ball out of bounds, a turnover on downs. McPherson incomplete at the McPherson 35-yard line. And it'll be fourth down. Something we haven't seen tonight. We had the one pass interference penalty, but that's been the only laundry so far tonight.
Been a very clean game from the penalty standpoint. And now Buhler's going to punt it away to McPherson, and Mac's going to have fantastic field position. Hopefully, we've been struggling a little bit punting tonight, so hopefully Neal can get a good punt off here and we can get some good coverage.
22nd game of the series as Jeff punts it away with the right foot. It's going to be taken at the 35, return 40, 45, and near midfield, brought down at the 49 for McPherson. On the return is Luke Schroeder.
And great open field special teams tackle made by senior Alex Lee.
9:25 to go in the second. Mac has it back at their own 48-yard line, leading 21-0. Mac had won 5 in a row in this series before the Buhler win last year. Coach Warner just 4-7 in his tenure here as a Crusader head coach. Mac, of course, a number of years ago moved down to 4A, and they've parked there ever since. Halvard out of the gun, 2 receivers either side. Quarterback draw on first down. He's got a first down and then some into Buhler territory across the 40-yard line and up to the 39.
Yeah, and Mac's making no bones about it when they're going on these spread sets and just running quarterback draws and quarterback sweeps. I mean, he isn't even setting up to throw. I mean, he's just taking the shotgun snap and rolling. And you can see why they do it, because Alvord's such a hard runner.
Win tonight gives Mac the league title outright. So they came in at 4-0. Circle and Buhler both 3-1. Circle finishing up with Mulvane tonight in their final regular season game. Here's Albert out of the gun, wants to throw in the slot near side. Caught by Hoover. And he has enough yardage close to another first down across the 30. And let's see where they mark the ball. He might be just a tad short.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to spot him just.
He did the 29. I think they gave him the 30 and a. Guess you call it the 29 and a half if you're counting up.
There you go. Yes, 29 and a half. You were correct, sir. But it was a nice stiff arm that time by Hoover. He's a big, strong kid. One heck of a golfer, too. He was one of their better baseball players and went out for golf this past year. Kind of a surprise.
Third down and second down and less than a yard with 8:17 to go in the half. 21-0. Hoover out of the gun. Pitches it now. Gum, halfback toss, wide open. Tackled at the 5-yard line. It's going to be first and goal down the field. The reception to Logan Roth on the halfback toss from Jayton Gum. Boy, I guess on a night where everything's going your way, doesn't matter what you try.
Yeah, that time, I mean, halfback passes can't have a very high probability situation, but that time it went for big.
If they were a high percentage play, they'd try them more.
Yes.
First and goal at the 5. 3 backs stacked behind Hoover under center under Albert to go with a half. Our soccer team, 14 wins to finish the regular season. 15-1. They're the number 1 seed in the 4A West. We'll talk with head coach Branson Felty. Halftime tonight. Second and goal from the 3. And Albert's going to keep it. He's going to be shut out of the end zone at the 2-yard line. Gain of 1. Third and goal here.
Well, this is something good to see. I mean, this is how you build a comeback, just fighting every down. And Buhler's defense making them fight for every single scrap and inch down here. Great job that time by Braden Gentry being tough.
Third and goal. And touchdown McPherson, Jayton Gum.
Yeah, that time they just been running out of that T formation, the robust, and just pounding away to the right. That time Gum cut back and just casually steps across the goal line as Buhler really sold out to try to fill that left side of the Buhler defense.
So Hoover will come on for the extra point again. 6:53 to go here in the game. Hold is down, kick is up, kick is good. And McPherson putting a thumping on here in the first half, 28-0. 6:53 to go before halftime on HKFM.
Trying to enjoy a fun event can be difficult after the loss of a loved one. Unanswered questions, feelings of stress and grief are only natural. As the owner and director of Inman Funeral Home, I bring over 25 years of experience bringing comfort and empathy during time of loss. Rely on me to guide you through all aspects of planning a funeral service with compassion, dignity, and respect. I'm Athena Johnson with Inman Funeral Home. Find me at inmanfh.com.
Hi, this is Jen Stallman with the Buhler Booster Club. Booster Club supports all student activities and athletics. Please consider membership in our Booster Club to help support all students at Buhler High School. Follow the Buhler Booster Club and the Buhler Crusader Closet on Facebook and Twitter to keep up to date. Thanks for the continued support of our generous donors.
Crusader football on HKFM.
28-0. Latest touchdown drive, 6 plays, 52 yards for McPherson. Jayton Gum with his first touchdown of the night. Gottwald opened the game with that 57-yard run, then the 65-yard pass to Pelnar. McPherson missed a field goal. Hoover caught a 13-yard pass in the end zone, and then Gum runs for 2. And here is the kickoff by Richardson. It's going to be taken inside the 10 at about the 7-yard line. Far side return across the 20 and up to the 22-yard line. It has been It has been tough sledding for the Buhler offense tonight. They have had 1 possession. They had 6 plays on their first possession. Outside of that, they've not had a possession go more than 3 plays in this first half.
Yeah, it is. You said it, tough sledding. I mean, that's no better adjective than what Buhler's seen.
Can't sled when there's no snow, you know that. And boy, nice run there, breaking away for Nick Gazaway.
So they plug Gazaway in at the fullback spot and let him go. And The sophomore showing some spark. Just as we were talking, Buhler hadn't had much momentum. See if that can get things going offensively for the Crusaders.
All the way down to the McPherson 37, Nick Gazaway. Where did he come from?
He's a sophomore getting to place.
McPherson 37, that goes for 41 yards. And that is more offense than Buhler has had in their other possessions combined. Loss of yardage back to the 38 on first down here.
They'll bring Braden Gentry back in, give Gazaway a couple puffs. Probably just had Gazaway in there just to give Gentry a little break since he's playing on defense, but he made the most of it.
2nd and 11, clock running, 5:39 to go before halftime. 2 tight end set, and Jeff fumbles the snap exchange between him and Ty Goins. Jeffrey Neal will fall on the ball back at the 42. It's going to end up being a loss of 4.
When you talked about it, how just the being off schedule down and distance wise presents a lot of problems for running team. Buhler with a 3rd and long, and after the big run by Gazaway, hopefully it won't be for naught. The Crusaders can convert here on 3rd down.
Well, Jeff Neal's going to be out of the shotgun with Eddie to his left, 2 receivers left. And throws in the middle of the field. It is caught on 3rd down, short of the first down. They needed to get up to the 27. Pass caught at the 34.
Austin Rogers makes the snag. He had the big snag earlier on 3rd down to get the first down, but
coach is going to go for it.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Pretty good luck we've talked about on the 4th downs. 11 of 22. Boy, anytime you're 50% or better on 4th down.
That's been one of the stats Buhler's been really good at this year.
Jeff out of the gun, 2 receivers right, 1 left. Eddie stays in the backfield, and a little pass near side Eddie, and crashes forward. It's going to be well short of the first down at the 32-yard line. We ever know those detective shows where they put a tracker on somebody's car and they always know where you're at? I think they are tracking Matt Eddy very well tonight.
Yeah, Buhler ran a swing pass to the near hand side, and there was 4 defenders from Mac just swarming, and so Eddy really didn't have much of a chance there.
So McPherson will get it back. 4:06 to play here in the half. This is our 2nd quarter. What a long first half it's been. Mac from their own 32. Alvord to sling it downfield. He's got 2 guys wide open. Caught at the 45 of 35.
Well, you know how you know this is a rivalry game? You're up 4 scores, first down after you stuffed a team, and you're going downfield like that. So, I mean, Coach Pavlovich and crew is really trying to not just tear down the house, but burn it down.
33 yards. McPherson has made a statement here in this first half.
Well, they have really struggled this season in the second half, so maybe they're trying to build that lead as much as they can.
Gottwald on the run. I've been impressed with him. Surprised that they don't use him, or Dawson Gottwald on the carry. Across the 30 up to the 28.
Well, since we're at that point in the game, too, down 4 scores, going to check your German knowledge here, Aaron, what Gottwald means in German here.
Do that after the 2nd down. Alvord's going to run, scrambles, has first down at the 20, still on his feet, and driven out of bounds. I think that basically means tonight the Buhler's getting Gottwald.
No, it's he's having a big night. Alvord is too, and so right now, if you're Buhler, got to try to turn this over because they go up by 5 scores. It's going to be a really huge hole for Buhler to try to dig out of.
Like somebody says, how to go today, you say, I done got walled. 1st and 10 at the 16. Alvord to pass. That is caught by Hoover at the 5. And that's another first down. It's going to be 1st and goal.
And good coverage that time by Gilliam and Gotti. But Hoover's a heck of a player for McPherson. Great receiver and fantastic kicker.
5-yard line, 1st and goal.
So 1st and goal. Tavian Gilliam has been on the sideline being checked out. Was holding his right forearm at one point. Now he is back out there. First and goal at the 5, 2:21 to go in the half. Hunter Alvord, play action, rolling to his right, to his tight end, Mason Miller. Touchdown, McPherson.
Yeah, they ran a play action that time, just a tight end drag along the goal line, and Alvord rolling to his right, really natural as a right-hander, just finds Miller right along the goal line, and Mack stacks on another touchdown.
Mason Miller, number 83.
5 plays, 68 yards on their latest drive. 2:12 still to go in the first half. And Blaze Hoover will come on for another extra point. It is up and good. 2:12 to go here before halftime. McPherson
Point after is good.
leading in this rivalry. One-sided 35-0 now here on HKFM. Well, Crusader football this season on HKFM, brought to you in part by Allstate agent Andrew Parr, by Midwest Iron and Metal, Red Rock Auto Center, by the Medicine Shop, and by Attiger Family Dental. Well, not going the way of the Crusaders tonight, but a lot to celebrate at halftime. Talk about our marching Crusaders having a great marching season. Competition again tomorrow in Lawrence. JV and freshman football both undefeated. Cross country competes at regionals tomorrow. Volleyball to sub-state, and our soccer team just finished out the regular season with 14 wins in a row.
Yep, it's been a productive fall for the Crusaders on the field. And
Richardson to kick off. It's taken at the 15, far side, return 20-25 up to the 30. And to about the 32-yard line. Buhler's going to have the ball with 2:05 to play. Golf competed at state this past week. Coach had more golfers out this year than he's ever had, so that's exciting. A lot of young kids. I think that Schenk kid will have a chance to compete for some varsity time next year.
Yeah, there's a lot of seniors and just a lot of nice kids involved in that program. Coach Torgeson, always just such a class act.
First and 10, Buhler at the 32, out of the eye. Jeff to throw. Pump fakes, goes right side one-on-one, looking for Luca Gotti. And questionable there. Oh, and then the little celebration. Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, I got to give it to Luca. I've known him for a long time. Kind of threw himself into the defender that time, trying to draw the flag. Luke Schrader in coverage.
Schrader kind of throws his hands up in the air like, what you gonna do, huh?
Yeah. Oh, what happens on a football field. But yeah.
Second down and 10 from the left hash mark of the 32. They'll hand off. Matt Eddy, nothing there. I think it's important to remember, of course, there's a lot of football left. No matter what happens tonight, this season is far from over.
Yeah, I mean, Buhler's still in a good position to host a first-round game next week, which is incredibly important when you get to the playoffs.
McPherson calling a timeout, which
they want blood, Mr. West.
I guess so. Timeouts this year brought to you by our friends at Pile Law, where Tom takes the time. He does indeed. Takes the time to evaluate your options. If you, a friend, or a family member have been the victim of an accident, contact Pile Law. I imagine we have some, now surely we have a few halftime scores coming in, don't we?
Yes. A lot of the scores haven't, well, from elsewhere on the network, Sterling's over Ellenwood at the half, 16-0. And nothing else has gone to the half elsewhere on the network. but we will have a whole pile of them coming up at halftime.
I got a bunch of into first stuff. Well, yeah, nothing halftime-ish yet.
Lots of shutouts. Hillsboro's over Lions 29-0, and Conway Springs over Trinity Catholic 28-0. And we've got some Newton Railers helping us out tonight. Last we had, is Newton still leading Derby? Okay, so that's
third down and 9. Throw high, looking for Matt Eddy on the near side, incomplete. It'll be fourth down again. And Cheney after one, leading Halstead 14-0. Wamego in 4A, 14 Abilene 0. Well, Mac's going to get the ball back here with 1:40 to go, as Buhler's going to have to punt again.
And unfortunately, McPherson's going to get good field position. They still have 2 timeouts remaining, and with them burning that earlier timeout, I'm feeling they're going to still keep attacking.
Jeff will punt it away. Far side, it is going to bounce at the 31 and then go out of bounds near the 25. There is a flag down, maybe roughing the kicker.
Yeah, Tegan Haynes dusting up Jeffrey Neal, so we'll see what the officiating crew does here.
You know, a lot of times in these situations, we'll see one team in a one-sided score. That's going to be
just the 5-yard variety running into the kicker.
So not enough for the first down.
Well, they're going to move the sticks.
I thought he said first down McPherson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a very rushed kick by Jeff Neal. Didn't have the time that he thought, as we proved by the running into the kicker. Very stutter step, didn't have his long strides. That's why punts have been a little iffy tonight. Expect him to get a little more protection here coming up on these next few punts after they look at that.
All right, the ball at McPherson's own 21, first and 10, 1:32 to go here before the half. I'm just thinking this could be one of those nights where I think if Pavlovich could hang 70 with his starters, he might try.
Well, and a lot of times if you're having a lot of success in the first half, you kind of are aggressive in the first half and then slow things down. So
trips to the far side on first and 10 here. Pass is caught short of the first down by Blaze Hoover. Actually incomplete. It'll be second down and 10. 1:28 to go in the first half.
But the good news, Crusader fans, the season's not over tonight, and there's sometimes you have one of those games that you just kind of put away, get ready for the playoffs. I have a feeling tonight's going to be one of them.
Albert scrambling, eludes a sack, somehow gets positive yardage, still on his feet, gets up to the 30-yard line. He is so tough to bring down. Crusader hobbling up off the play. I think that is Chase Gentry. He was chasing Albert, and Albert got away.
Third down and 1.
Forward progress to the 39-yard gain, third down and 1. 58 seconds to go here. Albert out of the gun, trips left. And Albert is going to keep it, has the first down. And gets up to the 33, gain of 3 yards.
So Max still
halftime leading Andover 14-6. Clearwater 19, Chapman 8. First and 10. Albert wants to air it out. Good coverage downfield, and Albert throws it out of bounds, incomplete.
Yeah, the clock will stop on the incompletion with 31 ticks left. Buhler still leading 35-0.
Marion Sedgwick tied at 14. Salina Central leading Arc City in the 4A West 28-0. 35-0 here. 31 seconds to go in the second. Second down and 10. Albert out of the gun. 2 receivers right, 2 left. 35 first half points by these Crusaders, or by these Bullpups against the Crusaders. McPherson's going to let the play clock run all the way down, and they will not snap the ball in time. I'm not sure what was happening there, but Albert just kind of looking around.
Yeah, that's one of the things when you're signaling plays in from the sideline, you're going to be more apt to get those delay of game situations because you're not huddling. People don't know what's going on.
Yeah, Moles will take anything that helps Buhler right now, huh?
Yeah, for sure. It was one of those situations. Call got in late, and then Albert just kind of overthought it. You know, Crusaders moved late on the defensive line. Great job adjusting late after they already get set up. Freaked Albert out, tried to switch the play, rotate it maybe, and that caused the delay of game.
Ball pushed back to the 29. It'll be second down and long. Screen pass near side. Across the 30 up to the 33-yard line. That pass to Gottwald. And McPherson calls a timeout here coming up on third down.
Yeah, 24 ticks still left. Max still got some work to try to get the first down. But they've shown their ability to score quickly. So
gain of 4, 24 seconds left. Well,
Buhler not out of the woods yet.
I think at this point, don't you have to play a little prevent with your secondary? Keep the ball in front of you?
Nothing deep, nothing cheap here.
Yeah, and the good thing is even if they do try the field goal, the wind is blowing against the ball if it was kicked for McPherson. So Hoover's a great kicker. We've already seen him miss one tonight, which is surprising. So they have a weapon. They're not afraid to use it, but big stop right here for the Crusaders.
Our coverage tonight live from the Allen Samuels broadcast booth. Allen Samuels, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Hutch. Come by and let's be friends. Our conversation with soccer head coach Branson Felty coming up at halftime. Scores from elsewhere on the network. Busy night of football. In week 8, playoffs start next week. Hunter Albert out of the shotgun, trips left on third and long. 24 seconds left in the half. Albert scrambling and chased out of bounds, shy of the first down. 18 seconds to play. And out of bounds at the 42. I would not be surprised to see Pavlovich go for it here. Well, Pavlovich is really, of course, built upon what Tom Young started at McPherson. Prior to Tom Young's arrival in the early 2000s, this was a program that was not very good.
Yeah, basketball season at McPherson did not end for football season.
But Young, former state title winner, as Albert's going to punt it away here. Buhler has nobody back. This ball's going to roll inside the 10 and be downed all the way at the 3-yard line. Young, who had won a state championship in my alma mater, came to McPherson, really built something, and Pavlovich has built upon that. The one thing that they have not obtained yet is McPherson's never been to a state title game.
Yeah, that's been kind of a bugaboo, something that I know when they start getting deeper in the playoffs, really.
And we're 0 for 4. 5 seconds to play here. And Buhler's going to run from the line of scrimmage at their own 3. And that'll get us to the end of the first half. Well, it was a first half all McPherson, leading 35. And McPherson looked sharp in all phases, 35-0. Senior night here at Crusader Stadium. We'll have lots coming up in our Prairie Bank of Kansas halftime report. Get you some other scores and a look at things happening elsewhere in Crusader sports and our conversation. Soccer coach Branson Felty when we come back here on HKFL.
Continues next with the Prairie Bank of Kansas halftime report. Coming up, Aaron and Chris recap tonight's first half, and we'll catch up with other coaches and athletes in This Week in Crusader Sports. 95.9 HKFM.
Prairie Bank of Kansas is a local bank with local concerns. You'll find us in the heart of the community, helping wherever we're needed. We enjoy working with local schools to help promote activities like sports and extracurricular learning. We hope you support these valuable activities too. We'll be right here with you. Visit one of our locations in Stafford, Buhler, Inman, or Hutchinson, or check us out online at prairiebankks.com. Prairie Bank of Kansas, how banking should be.
Are you tired of your dusty or muddy driveway? APAC Kansas Shears Division is here to help. This is Derek Fees. Call us and ask us about our asphalt millings. If you are a do-it-yourselfer, arrange for pickup or delivery at your convenience. Call APAC today at 620-662-2112.
New Felt's Flooring, proud supporter of Buhler High School activities. We are your experts for all your floor covering needs. Please make an appointment to visit us at 110 West 2nd, downtown Buhler, or give us a call at 620-543-2274. Go Crusaders!
At Dick's Phillips 66, our family has kept motorists on the road for nearly 60 years. Hi, this is Janet Dick, inviting you to stop by our locally owned station at 1215 East 4th in Hutch. Dick's offers top-tier gasoline, grab-and-go food options, and friendly service. Wherever you're headed, every journey begins with a stop at Dick's Phillips 66, 4th and Stevens in Hutch.
Our kids have lots of reasons to celebrate. Before dropping your kid off at the party, create an exit plan to help make good choices. Talk with your child about what to do when faced with difficult decisions about alcohol. Come up with a plan together to avoid drinking, such as texting a code word to a family member or practicing how to say no thanks in a safe environment. For tips on how and when to begin the conversation, visit resources at riseupreno.org. Rise Up, Reno.
And back here at halftime, senior night tonight at Crusader Stadium. Time to talk a little Buhler soccer with head coach Branson Felty. Coach, thanks for taking some time. Let's talk about your team. You guys finished the year with that huge win streak, and really starts with the defense and been playing fantastic.
Let's see, we've won 14 games in a row, so that's, yeah. And a big part of that is because of our defense.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys got on that roll. I think maybe we saw a little bit of a glimpse. You had a young team last year that the potential was there to have a really good, solid group. Talk about your group and what's made them successful.
Well, when they came in as, the seniors that came in as freshmen, we were coming off a state title run. So, they had a lot of shoes to fill. And they kind of just got thrown into our system, and we're kind of just like, well, figure it out as we move, because we're still trying to compete for another one. And then we had a year where it was kind of a rebuilding year, but they stuck with it. They're some of the hardest working kids I've ever coached. And now we're fully committed to our system, and yeah, we're rolling right now.
And you talk about the 14-game win streak. Not only the 14 wins, we mentioned the defense, but over that stretch, you've given up just 4 goals in those wins, 9 total. So you've been tough to score on. What's the key there?
I mean, we have 4 defenders, but a key to that is our whole team is defending. We finally got all the way from our forward to our goalkeeper. We have 11 behind the ball almost all game, and I think that's where it fully starts. Is we're just committed as a team to do what it takes necessarily to win.
Look briefly ahead to the postseason. Obviously, I think that top seed is huge for you guys. That it ensures that you get to play at home first few rounds of the playoffs. Thoughts on what lies ahead and how things stack up in the postseason?
I mean, anyone that you see in postseason, even if you played them during the regular season, it's a whole new league, a whole new game set. The way we approach games. Because, I mean, it's do or die at that point. So you're going to get everyone's best game, and we have to go in with the more secure focus on our game plan. We have a good shot. I liked our odds, but, we have to come in ready to work each time, and, earn that respect is what we've been talking about all year.
Yeah, certainly you ought to be heavily favored in that first match, but then that second round you get Mulvane or Topeka Hayden, and both those teams are obviously teams you're going to have to come in respecting.
Yeah, they're both teams. I don't know a whole lot about Hayden, but just from the past and playing them in high school, they have a well-respected program. They play a lot of tough teams out of their division. So, yeah, we can't take anybody lightly.
I think Tuesday night, is that right? Tuesday at 6 o'clock at Buhler. So I'd love to see people come out and support the team. I know the kids would really appreciate it, too.
Yeah, they would. They thrive off of, our crowd. We haven't lost at home. We take a lot of pride in the Buhler on our chest, and that starts with our community coming out and support. The student section is always great. It's just good to have everyone out there.
That's head coach Branson Felty. Buhler Soccer home Tuesday to open the playoffs with either Per Caravel or Circle, winner of a play-in game that'll happen this weekend, and we'll be back with more of our halftime right after this.
More of the Prairie Bank of Kansas halftime report is coming up after this. Prairie Bank of Kansas, your locally owned full-service bank since 1886, 95.9 HKFM. The Buhler Crusaders play here.
Rods Tire and Service in Hillsboro. On behalf of Carrie, myself, and our entire staff at Rods in Hillsboro, we want to thank you for your business over the past 20 years. It's truly an honor to take care of your tire and wheel needs.
Hey fans, this is Rachel Nelson. It's game time and I Need a Cleaners can help you look like a winner. Spend your valuable time prepping for the game, not doing laundry. Keep your knit polos and khaki pants looking great. For the winning look, stop by I Need a Cleaners, 13th and Main in Hutchinson.
At Adams Brown, we go above and beyond to help our clients. Hi, this is Brett Henry. We'd love to show how our team can help your business. Stop by our Hutch location at 30th and Plum or check out adamsbrowncpa.com. Adams Brown, strategic allies and CPAs, above and beyond.
Did you know that the evaporated salt produced at your local Cargill salt facility is among the purest of all salts? Cargill Salt of Hutch is proud to support the schools of Reno County. Collaborate, create, succeed. Cargill Salt of Hutchinson.
If you have not considered Way Patton Insurance for your homeowner's insurance, you should call on us. Hello, this is Brad Patton here to remind you that we have the independent advantage to find coverage for your home. Buying insurance doesn't have to be an expensive burden, and we will shop our carriers for you and simplify the placement of coverage. We will tailor a policy to your individual needs, take the time to educate you on your coverage, and be sure you're protecting your biggest investment. Stop in our office on the corner of 6th and Main or find us on the web at WadePattonInsurance.com.
Crusader football on HKFM.
Well, back here at halftime, we mentioned our Crusader marching band, their final competition of the year tomorrow at the Kansas Bandmasters in Lawrence. A little bit of their sound here at halftime for you tonight on senior night. Good luck to the Crusaders tomorrow. More in our This Week in Crusader Sports coming up. 5, make it 4 first half touchdowns for McPherson. They could have added one more score, but they missed a 25-yard field goal late in the first quarter, leading 35-0 at halftime. First quarter, Dawson Gottwald got the Pups on the board on their second drive, 57-yard touchdown run right up the middle, 6:56 to go in the first. Two plays, 65 yards. It was 7-0. Next series for McPherson, Tucker Pelnar, a 65-yard catch. One play, a score, 14-0 with the extra point. In the second quarter, two more scores for the Pups. Actually, should be, I'm sorry, there's three more in that, flip the page in that second quarter. Blaze Hoover caught a 13-yard touchdown pass. Jayton Gum with a 2-yard run. And then Mason Miller with a 5-yard touchdown pass. So 5 touchdowns in the first half for the Pups, and they lead 35-0 here at halftime. Crusader football this season brought to you in part by Allstate agent Andrew Parr, by the Prairie Bank of Kansas, Heston Bakery, by Erickson Custom Building, by the Crusader Booster Club, and by Idea Tech. Our This Week in Crusader Sports coming up, and more of our marching Crusaders as we go to halftime. Take this break. Prairie Bank of Kansas halftime report on HKFM.
virtually, or that our tax pros average 10 years of experience. You can even request the same tax pro every year, and your biggest possible refund is always guaranteed. At H&R Block, help is here. All tax situations are different. Not everyone gets a refund. Limitations apply. See hrblock.com/guarantees.
Stop by H&R Block in Lyons, Ellsworth, or Hutch today.
Erickson Custom Building has a great plan and a budget suited for your needs. Erickson Custom Building provides quality craftsmanship and superior customer service. Call 620-585-2816 or visit EricksonCustomBLDG.com.
At Morton Salt in South Hutch, we're passionate about what we do and how we do it. That's because we're helping to improve people's lives in more ways and places than ever before. Hi, this is Evan Moody, General Manager. To learn more, go to mortonsalt.com.
Hi, this is Kathy from Midwest Iron inviting you to help the environment and put a little cash in your pocket by bringing us your recyclable metals to 700 South Main and Hatch. Have questions? Give us a call at 620-662-0551. Midwest Iron, recycling for tomorrow's environment.
Well, our Prairie Bank of Kansas halftime report continues tonight with this weekend Crusader sports. Buhler Golf competed at the 4A State Tournament in Emporia Monday and Tuesday, finishing 9th as a team. Wamego shot a .674 to win the tournament. Winfield was second, followed by Topeka, Hayden, and Wellington. Both Elise Gover and Marley Cooper advanced on today to play individually. Gover shot a .201 to finish 32nd. Cooper's .208 placed her in 39th. Buhler Soccer went 3-0 this week, finishing the regular season on a 14-game winning streak. The Crusaders blanked Hayesville 1-0 Monday and El Dorado 9-0 Tuesday. On Thursday at Berean Academy, Buhler capped the regular season with a 5-0 win. Ethan Stambaugh, A.J. Thetford, Jake Winters, Isaac Spicer, and Cole Darling all scored goals in the win. Buhler at 15-1 will enter the postseason as the number 1 seed in the West bracket, giving them home field advantage through the first 3 rounds. The boys will open regional play on Tuesday against the winner of a play-in game between Cape Paravel and Circle. Sub-state volleyball pairings are set, with Buhler drawing the number 15 seed in the 4A West. Buhler will face El Dorado tomorrow at 1 o'clock in Towanda. The winner from there will advance on to take on the number 2 seed Circle. The Crusaders in 3 matches with the Wildcats are undefeated this season. After a successful league race to finish the regular season, Buhler Cross Country will compete at regionals tomorrow morning. Buhler makes the short trip to McPherson, where the girls will race at 10 o'clock, followed by the boys at 10:40. The top 3 finishing teams then will qualify for state the following Saturday in Wamego. The Buhler High Marching Band has earned a pair of second-place overall finishes in the first 2 competitions of the season. They've also scored Best Visual in each. This year's show, Valor, honors our American heroes. The Crusaders will compete tomorrow at the Kansas Bandmasters Association Marching Championship in Lawrence. They perform at 2:45. The top 12 bands will advance on to the finals beginning at 6:30. Both the freshman and JV football teams remain undefeated through 7 weeks in the season. Last Monday, the freshmen won over Andale 36-26, while JV won at Roselle 20-12. Both teams will play at McPherson on Monday beginning at 5 p.m. First half stats and other scores in our Buhler Dental Care scoreboard when we come back right after this on HKFM.
You're listening to the Prairie Bank of Kansas Halftime Report. Tonight's second half kickoff is coming up next. Join Aaron West and head coach Steve Warner Monday nights at 6:30 for the Crusader Coaches Show, 95.9 HKFM.
The witches are back for a Halloween movie night at Alan Samuels in Hutch. Grab a chair and a blanket and snuggle in for a fun night of Hocus Pocus, pizza, and prizes on the giant corner of 30th and Lorraine. Family movie night Friday, October 28th at 7 p.m. The Sanderson sisters and the Alan Samuels team can't wait to see you for an outdoor showing of Hocus Pocus. And as Mr. Samuels always says,
come by, let's be friends.
Each and every day, WIFCO Steel products are trusted to provide access and infrastructure for a wide range of purposes. For more info on what WIFCO can do for you, go to wifcosp.com. WIFCO Steel Products, the experts in steel fabrication.
Get the latest 5G devices at Nextech Wireless. Now you can get the iPhone 14 Pro and the Samsung Galaxy S22 Plus on us. off any other device. And that's not all. You can also get half off a new Apple Watch when you bring your number to us. Next Tech Wireless. We are Kansas.
Much like going to the doctor for a physical, we can perform a physical on your vehicle. Hi, this is Steve. Welcome to the full service experience of Red Rock Auto Center. Allow us to do a complete physical on your vehicle to ensure its complete dependability. Whether preparing for holiday travel, batteries, or brakes, we are your locally owned, family owned, full service repair facility. Visit us today in South Hutchinson or go to redrockautocenter.com. Red Rock Auto Center. We're here when you need us.
Crusader football on HKFM.
Well, welcome back here. A couple of minutes to go before the second half here from the Allen Samuels broadcast booth. And Christopher, I'm afraid to ask for the numbers, but let's look into first half stats.
Yeah, take a look at the stats. Always want to thank Mr. Ethan Ricker. Does a fantastic job keeping us posted at halftime and after the games. Wish I could say they were better, but in total offense here at the half, McPherson with 308 yards compared to Buhler's 94 yards. Mack and Buhler ran off about the same number of plays. They ran 36, we ran 33, but they are averaging 8.6 yards per play compared to Buhler's 2.8. Through the air, we'll get into some of the individual numbers now. Hunter Alvord, 8 of 14 for 149 yards, 3 of those 8 completions going for touchdowns. Jayton Gum also had a completion that went for 24 yards on the tailback pass. Passing for Buhler tonight, Jeff Neal, 7 of 20 for 52 yards and a TD. And Matt Eddy did have an incompletion in there when they ran Wildcat on one of the plays. Individual rushing yards, Dawson Gottwald, the leading rusher of the game, 6 carries for 69 yards and a TD. He's averaging over 11.5 yards a carry. Hunter Alvord, 11 carries for 61 yards, 5.5, and Jayton Gum, 4 carries for 5. For Buhler, leading rusher at the half, Nick Gazaway, 2 carries for 39 yards. And receiving-wise, Austin Rogers for Mack is Tucker Pellner, 1 catch for 65 yards and a touchdown. Blaze Hoover has 4 catches for 41 and a TD, and a couple other bullpups with catches as well.
All right, some other 4A scores at the half. Circle leading Mulvane 26-7. Wellington 15, Rose Hill 7, Andover Central 21, Valley Center nothing. Abilene nothing. Wamego 35, Abilene nothing is the score there. Winfield leading Augusta 20-0 at the half. McPherson will start the second half with a football. And a first kickoff tonight for Jeff Neal is a squib to the right side. And the Pups will fall on it at the 31. They'll have it 1st and 10.
And not a more aptly named return man there than Catch Delaney, making the catch there for McPherson. He's just a sophomore, but what a name. If he didn't have good hands and your name was Catch, that'd be a tough
to live up to, wouldn't it?
It would.
All right, Pups from their own 31, leading 35-0, 5 first half scores. See how long Coach Pav keeps the offense on the field in this second half if this trend continues. Play action for Hoover, being chased by Regier, and a pass is caught on the far side. Great job by Blaze Hoover, who dug that one out of the turf right at the first down stick. First play of the second half.
Yeah, tough break for Buhler as Hoover caught it right as he was rolling, and he stood up like he caught it. So a lot of times high school officials just read the player.
Like a vacuum, that Hoover.
Dun-dun-dun-sh.
Up to the 43, 1st and 10. 2 receivers left. Single to the right side. And they throw in the flat. Falling down with the ball, though, Tucker Pelnar caught the ball behind the line of scrimmage, slipped, and he is slow to get up back at the 38-yard line.
And he pretty much just fell down on his own right there, so we'll hope that he's okay. He's going to hustle off the field, and he's been their deep threat throughout the season.
Well, excited. You heard us talk at halftime about the JV and the freshman football teams undefeated. Excited about the future of this program. Freshmen last week, I don't care what level it is at, they went and beat Andale. Anytime you can beat Andale, That's something to hang your hat on.
No doubt about it. I mean, and something we were talking about last week, Aaron, you know, Buhler beating Andale back in 2016. That's the last time Andale lost a regular season football game, was that Buhler victory.
That's crazy. 2nd and 15 after the last. And Hoover fumble, ball is loose. The Crusaders have got it.
Great job. Alex Lee is the one that recovered it. Great job by the Crusader D-line bringing the heat. Actually, Will Hainan was on the blitz, got through, and hit Alvord. And I tell you what, that is a pretty important thing there. That is McPherson's just 3rd fumble of the entire season, just their 4th overall turnover. They do not put the ball on the deck very often.
Buhler's going to have it. Best field position of the night at the McPherson 32. Alvord hit, fumbles the ball out of the eye. Fullback handoff on 1st down. And powering straight ahead across the 30 up to about the 28.
Gentry, some hard running there. First carry of the second half for Buhler.
Well, it's been 2 fullback carries have been the best runs Buhler have had tonight. One by Gazaway, now that one by Gentry, which goes for 4 yards, almost 5. This time keeper on the left side. And Jeff Neal, nothing there, loses yardage back to the 30, so he lost 2.
Yeah, Buhler ran the belly option there to the unbalanced side of the line, and Neal got dropped by one of the big fellas inside.
I've been impressed with the containment of McPherson here.
Yes.
They just really.
Miller and Becker have done a fantastic job. You know, they've really been missing Becker, and for Mack, that was a huge return for him.
3rd down and 7, Jeff to pass. Ooh, dangerous at the 20. The receiver was lit up. I think that was Austin Rogers.
Yeah.
Pass incomplete, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, Austin Rogers just got bracketed by 2 McPherson defenders, one of them being Jay Schreiner. And, yeah, Austin Rogers kind of walking slowly back to the huddle after he got popped there.
After starting 0-3, Jeff out of the gun. Trips left, single receiver is Rogers to the right. Jeff to throw, left, caught. I think that's Eddie across the 20. 1st down. Buhler in the red zone for the first time tonight.
Well, and something that says a lot about a kid's character is irregardless what the score is, how hard they're still playing. And Matt Eddy is still battling just as hard as if they were up 35-0. Good job going up in traffic and hauling it in.
Caught at the 18, a gain of 12. 1st and 10 Crusaders. Again, first time they've been in the pup red zone tonight. 9:14 to go in the 3rd. 35-0 here on senior night at Crusader Stadium. Buhler going left to right here in this 3rd quarter. They'll come to the line of scrimmage with 8 on the play clock. 3 receivers to the right side. And a handoff, Eddie. Inside carry across.
Offensive line charge and picks up 6 yards on 1st down.
No, sorry. We had his mic turned off.
Yeah.
He was misbehaving earlier.
We can hear you.
You can hear me, okay. Yeah, it's definitely different as Crusaders are going to be forced to call a time. And this is a perfect team to do that. You see Will Hainan forces that. Braden Gentry has had some giant runs both from the fullback and the tailback position on offense. And Crusaders really, if they can get points out of this, it's going to get the ball rolling here for a good half. In a half that going into playoffs, you really, really need to have a good feeling.
He was being really obnoxious on the sideline, so I had to turn his mic down.
Yeah. Aaron discussed the delay process.
Those Moeller guys, I've been watching his dad all night. They're just out of control.
Keeping their intensity up in the second half, so hopefully Buhler can break the shutout here and maybe get some mojo back.
Jeff's going to be out of the gun. Eddie to his right, 2 receivers right. They're going to put the tight end Skripsik in motion. Handoff.
What a tough run by Eddie.
And a great run down to the 8-yard line. Enough for actually got closer to the 7. Enough for a first down. They bring the tight end across the formation as an extra blocker there on the left side, and they run right behind him for a first down.
Well, I love how good Matt, good job keeping shoulders square and the feet churning.
1st and goal Rolling out to his right, Jeff Neal, run with it, Jeff. Oh, in the end zone, throws. Did he catch? He did, touchdown!
Tough kid, this is not a good thing.
No,
Holy smokes.
Great play by Braden Gentry. The second time a ball has been thrown behind a Buhler receiver, and they've come back to make a great play.
And he was really untouched. He just slipped and fell to the turf, didn't he?
But seeing him down, it's just like a couple weeks ago when Gavin Patton was down. There's some guys that when you see him down, it's not a good sign.
And he has been banged up this year as it is. That reminds me of a catch that Austin Rogers made in the end zone. Talk about tough guys. A couple of years ago, held on to the football. Just got lambasted in the end zone. So Gentry, how good to see that they are helping him up.
Well,
he has been playing banged up as it is.
Yeah, and he's just one of those guys that, you know, night in and night out, just this physicality, something he brings.
Yeah, and speaking of injuries, Jared Miller, the freshman special teams player, is on the sideline, ice on his left ankle and shoe off. Probably won't see him for the rest of the night.
So Braden Gentry hobbles off the field. We're going to hope the best. Holds on for the 7-yard touchdown catch. Jeff Neal on for the extra point. Buhler breaks the 0 on their side of the scoreboard. This kick is going to be low and blocked. No good. 7:43 to go in the third. Buhler 35, or McPherson 35. Buhler 6 on HKFM.
Shine. It's daylight time and time to go to your happy place. With kids back in school, that means fall flavors are returning to your Hutchinson Daylight Donuts. Bear claws, pine cones, pumpkin and apple spice cake donuts, and of course, all your favorite standards made fresh from scratch each morning. Order online and have them ready to pick up by going to HutchinsonDaylightDonuts.com. At 3rd and Main and 1435 East 30th, we're your Hutchinson Daylight Donuts.
Even trying to enjoy a fun event can be difficult after the loss of a loved one. Unanswered questions, feelings of stress and grief are only now. Rely on me to guide you through all aspects of planning a funeral service with compassion, dignity, and respect. I'm Athena Johnson with Inman Funeral Home. Find me at inmanfh.com.
Crusader football on HKFM.
Here's Jeffrey Neal with a kickoff picked up at the 10, 15-20 up the middle of the field to the near the 25-yard line with a return man. I believe that is Jathan Alexander, actually Jay Schreiner on that to return. And McPherson's going to have it. 7:36 to go in the third. Up 35-6. And they're going to start from about their own 25.
Well, McPherson's shown they're not afraid to try to throw the ball downfield and really to set the tone since their first possession ended in a turnover. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't get aggressive here again.
Turnovers even at one apiece now in the game. Here is Albert out of the gun, barks out the signal, hands off. This is Gottwald, the big back, and nothing there. Runs for a yard forward to the 26. Well, so far here in now their second series, this is not the same McPherson team. I know there's a lot to play, but so far from what I've seen, not the same team that came out to start the game.
Yeah, I've been impressed with Buhler's intensity with the scenario. I mean, down 35-0. A lot of teams are fold like a cheap tent, and Buhler hasn't done that so far.
Back to the line of scrimmage. Still, the ball's going to be at the 26 and 3rd down and 9.
Great job by Hainan being the leading charge there for the Crusaders.
We'll try and check on Braden Gentry. He's being attended to by
yeah, not a good
Doc
sign.
On the sideline.
Got multiple Crusaders with their shoes off, legs propped up.
Looks like Gentry, it's the left ankle. Alver to air it out on the play, incomplete.
I literally think it hit his face mask and bounced off.
And it bounced right off of his body somewhere.
Yeah, right through the hands. It's one of those awkward catches where he was running under the ball and had to look straight behind.
And I would imagine they'll punt here. Alver, the quarterback, is also the punter. They're going to have Matt Eddy deep here. Alvord will kick it away. It's going to angle to the far side hash mark of the 42. Here goes Matt Eddy across the 50 into McPherson territory and driven out of bounds at about the 43-yard line.
Well, you ever watched enough football where you just know, and certain players, you just know they're not fair catching it come heck or high water. I just had this feeling, Matt Eddy trying to do something, trying to get some.
The NFL, is it college? One of them, you can't run it out of the end zone anymore. Is that right?
No, you can bring it out of both.
Can you?
Yep. It's just high school.
Okay. So, Buhler with the ball back from the McPherson 42, far side run. And run to the 40. Of course, so often in the NFL, they kick it in the end zone or out of the end zone anyway. Now that they're kicking 65-yard field goals these days.
I know. It was interesting because even before the big kick in last night's Thursday night game, saw a long story about just, the long field goal and how it's really changing the NFL.
2nd down and 8 at the 40. I formation. And Jeff Neal hit as he throws, and a wobbly duck is going to be picked off. Returned near side. This is Jarrett Myers. Deep to play another down, don't you?
Yeah, it's always tough when you got guys in your face what to do. And, devastating block thrown down the field. Tegan Haynes helping escort Jarrett Myers to the end zone. But tough break for the Crusaders. You mentioned earlier the turnover situation was even tonight. And just like that, Mac tips the scales in their favor.
5:21 to play. The first defensive score of the night. Hoover comes on to put him up 42-6. He missed a 25-yard field goal attempt in the first half. Bangs this through the uprights. He's perfect all season on PATs, though. If I talk about him enough, he'll miss one. 42-6 our score. Third quarter here on HKFM.
At 620-728-0012 or go to alphalandsurveys.com.
At Dix Phillips 66, our family has kept motorists on the road for nearly 60 years. Hi, this is Janet Dick, inviting you to stop by our locally owned station at 1215 East 4th in Hutch. Dix offers top-tier gasoline, grab-and-go food options, and friendly service. Wherever you're headed, every journey begins with a stop at Dix Phillips 66, 4th and Stevens in Hutch.
Manu garages and more rely on the quality and integrity of WIFCO products. Go to WIFCOSP.com for more. WIFCO Steel Products, the experts in steel fabrication.
Crusader football on HKFM.
5:21 to go here in the third. A defensive score, return of the INT by Jarrett Myers down around the 15-yard line. Returned it all the way up the Buhler sideline. Kicked by Richardson, picked up near side at the 13-yard line. This is Luca Gotti, shakes out a one tackle, and he'll be brought down at the 24.
Yeah, Gotti tried to make a guy miss that time, but it was a fantastic.
By H&R Block, Ray & Sons Roofing, by the Sheila Metzger Agency, by Advanced Physical Therapy, and by Hutch Rec. Still.
That's leading rusher Nick Gazaway there with the carry.
I think kind of getting to that point in the game where now you just got to avoid injuries. I saw he will.
Yeah. There's no doubt or questioning his toughness.
Probably limit his touches on offense, though, the rest of the night. They grab the face mask of the running back. That's a brutal miss. Grabbed up around the helmet.
Yeah, it was Gavin Weedle that came.
Lost a yard back to the, or gained a yard, to the 27, 3rd and 7. It's taken a lot to get a penalty flag. We've just had the one, maybe two tonight. The play to fall on the football, and it's 4th down.
So Buhler will punt it away here. Clock continues to roll with 35 left, and so now it's just kind of gut check time. You know, as a coach, you want to see who's still battling, who's going to keep fighting, even though the stakes are tough for the Crusaders.
Jeffrey Neal to punt from the 15, gets it away. Good kick here, bounces at the 40. It's going to take a Buhler roll. Matt Eddy is trailing the ball down to the 26-yard line. That's where McPherson will take over. It's Jeff's best punt of the night.
Yeah, he had a little bit of room to work with there. Got his strides out, great punt, got the good roll. Matt Eddy, great job down there covering up, making sure that ball that comes to a stop before he picks it up.
McPherson from their own 26, 1st and 10. Our coverage tonight from the Allen Samuels broadcast booth. Lots of college football this weekend. Out of the gun is Hoover scrambling far side. Let's go downfield. And incomplete. The Buhler fans are
hey, you got a date after the game? What's the deal? Call the game.
2nd down and 10. We have some unhappy fans right in front of us. I don't know if you noticed that or not.
Yes, I wasn't aware.
2nd down after the incompletion. This is Gottwald on a left side run. Forward to the 30 for 4 yards. It'll be 3rd down from there. So college football this weekend. K-State, TCU, right?
Yes.
How about the Horned Frogs? Undefeated. They're the only undefeated team still in the Big 12.
Yep, Coach Dykes coming over from SMU. He's done a fantastic job. Of course, he's the son of longtime previous head coach out at Texas Tech, Spike Dykes.
That'd be a huge win for K-State if that's in Fort Worth, right?
Yes, the winner of that game will be in the driver's seat of the Big 12.
3rd down and 6 here. Hunter Alvord out of the gun, trips right from the 30-yard line. 2:10 to go in the quarter. And right side run. The keeper by the quarterback short of the first down, slipped and fell. Shy of the 35 at the 33-yard line. It's going to be 4th down. KU at Baylor. You can call me crazy, but I know that Jayhawk defense did not look good against Oklahoma. We got their quarterback back last week, but Baylor doesn't. They don't jump off the page at you. So we'll see.
It'll be an interesting matchup.
That might be a game that ends up in the 50s. Alvord will punt it away here. And Eddie takes it at the 27, returned across the 30. And there's a flag down at the end of the play as Eddie's tackled at the 35.
And with where it's at, I think it's probably going to be a hold on Buhler, unfortunately. So the good field position Buhler was going to have is going to be taken away on a potential hold. The flag is sitting around the 39-yard line. So the officials having a powwow near the midfield circle. Minute 22 left here in the 3rd.
Been very few flags as we've talked about tonight, just 2 in the game. One for defensive pass interference.
Middle right side block. 15 return team. 15 yards. First down, Buhler.
So it'll be a 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Buhler's going to be pushed back deep. I think we can safely say nobody from the Big 12 is likely going to be in the college football playoff this year.
You never know. The winner of the Big 12, if they're a one-loss team, they got a shot.
How about old Rocky Top last week, huh?
Yeah, most points Alabama had given up since 1907 against Sewanee.
Buhler, 1:22 to go in the 3rd from their own 20 with the penalty. And there's a pass bobbled and incomplete. Austin Rogers had it at the first down stick and lost it.
Yeah, he had a defender in his face, Jay Schreiner, and I think it was one of those things Rogers just took his eyes off the ball ever so slightly right as it was delivered, looking for that green grass ahead.
And then correct me if I'm wrong, did they say that starting next year they're going to split the league into divisions again? Is that
they're
right?
Not going to do divisions for football.
Not for football, but for basketball.
They've got some sort of set where you'll play a rival and guaranteed to play in both times, but they will not have divisions.
All right, left side run. Jeffrey Neal on the keeper, gets a couple of years, but they won't be able to play every team every year like they do now.
Yep, each team will be guaranteed 2 games against a rival. They're doing the same thing in basketball, so as a K-Stater, unfortunately, we're going to have to play KU like 17 times in basketball next year. Or, yes, next year.
So they still have the home and home there, but a lot of other teams you may only play once. 3rd down and 7 here. Jeff out of the gun, trips left. Near side, caught by Tavian Gilliam for a first down at the 31.
that's a big moment because that is Gilliam's just 7th reception all time for the Crusaders.
Yeah, great job. Tavian got up, got the ball, and then protected himself, made sure he was safe, made sure he got down with the ball.
And that's a big
the sticks.
Yeah, that's a big thing too. I mean, because he's a guy that when you're a receiver and you maybe struggle a little bit, it starts becoming a mind game. So good to see him get that. Hopefully that'll help his confidence.
So probably be the final play of the third quarter. Jeff out of the gun, trips left, and they'll hand it off. This is Cruz Hirschberger. Right side run, getting some yardage across the 35 and up to the 37-yard line. Gain of 6.
And Cruz doing some old school football there. As he was going down, put his hand on the ground, kept his balance, and was able to fight for the extra yards.
Will get us to the end of the third. 42-6 here as we go to the fourth. Mac up on HKFM.
Newfeld's Flooring, proud supporter of Buhler High School activities. We are your experts for all your floor covering needs. Please make an appointment to visit us at 110 West 2nd, downtown Buhler, or give us a call at 620-543-2274. Go Crusaders!
If you're looking for a late starting college class, Hutchinson Community College may have what you need. It's not too late to get enrolled. We have classes starting throughout the semester. Call 620-665-3535 or email myfuture@hutchcc.edu today.
One of the most important elements of success is knowing when to expand and when to focus on strengthening what you have. At People's Bank and Trust, we've done just that over the years, ensuring that we always have a solid base to provide for our customers and our community. At People's Bank and Trust, we never promise more than we can deliver. And what we deliver is safe, sound, reliable banking that puts you first. Let us put our experience to work for you and your family. People's Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Crusader football on HKFM.
Second down and 5 coming up. 12 minutes to go as we start to quarter number 4. 42-6 our score. Here's Jeff. Jeffrey's going to tuck it and run. Close to a first down on the left side run. It's all going to be about the spot near the 42.
Nice looking stiff arm that time by Jeff Neal, his biggest run of the evening.
Yeah, we've talked about this this year, but you know something we have not seen the entire season is a measurement of any kind.
You're exactly right. Yeah, it's just kind of gone the way of the dinosaur. Officials want to keep that. They want to increase their pay per hour.
Of course, in television, they have that fancy yellow line painted across the field. First and 10 at the 42, out of the eye. Cruz Hirschberger wrapped up quickly at the line of scrimmage for no gain. Of course, crazy to think about this. We're getting to that time of year where college football and college basketball are going to collide, and how do we get that late in the year already?
I know. I just got tickets today for K-State's exhibition game against Washburn, and that's already a week from next week.
Yeah, hard to believe. But, there's still a lot of football to be played too. So,
There is.
I mean, there's 2 months of football left.
No doubt.
First and 10. Make it second and 10. Jeff to throw. It's caught. Tipped and then caught. That ball was nearly intercepted. It went through the hands of a MAC defender. Tegan Haynes had it. He lost it. And then Matt Eddy ended up with it for a first down.
Who else but Matt Eddy to make a play there? Great job. Thank you, Matt Eddy. He really had to concentrate on that when you talked about it, Aaron. It was tipped. He was falling out of bounds, but was able to have enough composure to keep concentration and haul it in and get the first down.
Up at the McPherson 43-yard line, first and 10. So that pass goes for 15. Jeff looking to throw now. He'll tuck it and be sacked back behind the line of scrimmage at the 46-yard line. It's a loss of 3.
Yeah, it was Javen Alexander, just a good old-fashioned bear trap tackle as he just clamped on to Jeffrey Neal's leg and brought him down after a couple-yard loss. And we'll hit the 4th.
Second and 13 at the 41. Jeff out of the gun, trips right. Single receiver is Gotti to the near side. Jeff rolling right, gets pressure and throws upfield, tipped by a defensive back, incomplete. Looking on the far side near the 30. third down. Clock stops with 9:50 to go in this fourth quarter, looking for a receiver up at the 30-yard line.
Sorry, I got confused on time that time.
I'm confused all of the time.
Well, it's crazy because a lot of other games across the Ad Astra Sports Network are starting to go final. Got a final from down in Kingman earlier tonight on Kicks Country 106. Kingman defeats Garden Plain 40-7. Kingman finishes the regular season 8-0.
Matt Eddy has single coverage on the far side here on third down. One-on-one. Jeff looking Matt's way all the way, but the safety comes over across the middle and picks it off.
And Jarrett Myers, I believe that was second pick of the night. He had a pick six earlier tonight, so he is having a fantastic night. Third pick of the evening for Buhler.
Third turnover for the Crusaders. McPherson will have it back. 9:43 to play in the game. And they'll have the ball from their own 33-yard line, 1st and 10.
Well, historically, the biggest margin of victory McPherson's ever had over Buhler was 39-point win back in 2018. And
inside run by Jayton Gum to the 36.
That's a record that's in danger of falling tonight.
Yeah, starting to get a little chippy down here. You know, McPherson still trying to get up to that running clock point, trying to get that 40-point mark, and Buhler's starting to get frustrated, starting to hold on a little longer to tackles, and Matt Eddy got stepped over, long tackles. So hopefully we can keep a clean game and not cause anybody to sit out the first half next week.
McPherson runs that spread eye offense. They'll keep it there in play action now. Is Hoover rolling out to his right side. Ball is picked off. Luca Gotti took it right away from the receiver. So it'll be 1st and 10 at the 43. Buhler's going to have it back here, down 42-6.
Yeah, Matt coming in tonight had turned the ball over 3 times this entire season. We turned him over twice.
Jeffrey out of the shotgun with trips to the right side. Lone receiver to the left is Gilliam. And Jeffrey steps up in the pocket and is knocked down after trying to take off at the line of scrimmage. Here's an interesting thing. Did you know the NBA season started this week? I had no idea until I saw a score on Facebook somewhere. I was totally clueless.
Yeah.
It shows you how plugged in I am to the NBA.
You pay about as close attention to it as I do.
2nd down and 10 at the 43. Jeff stays out of the gun. 4 receivers. Trips right. Rolling right. And boy, just cannot get any kind of time at all. Chased in the backfield and brought down for another sack by Javen Alexander. And McPherson is giving him no time to operate.
And there's an injured bullpup on the field. It's Gavin Weedle. As Aaron, why do they call a defender a nickelback?
Well, because he's the 5th defensive back.
Very good, thank you.
Nickel is 5.
You got it.
Worked hard for that one. 3rd down and long at the pass over the middle from the 35 through the hands of the receiver at the 50, trying to hold on, incomplete.
Yeah, they had Skripczyk on a flag route there.
Intended for the tight end. It'll be 4th down.
So Buhler will bring the punt team on.
So KU at Baylor tomorrow. West Virginia, Texas Tech. Texas at Oklahoma State. That's an intriguing game. And K-State at TCU. Oklahoma has the week off.
Yeah, a lot of the national media going with Texas, but I guess they don't have the same disdain for Texas that most people in this part of the world do.
Jeff Neal will punt it out of bounds. It goes out, they say, at the 26. McPherson will take over with 7:50 to go. You just never know which Texas team's going to show up.
Yeah, the game's in Stillwater, so and Oklahoma State, of course, coming off of their first loss of the season. So
I watched the other day the whole "I'm a man, I'm 40" that whole thing.
Yeah,
that's been a long time ago
it
now.
It was, because Gundy's in his 50s, and but yeah,
he's not 40 anymore.
He isn't.
They're going to call unnecessary roughness.
on Jeremy Gentry. Tough break for Buhler.
On the Crusaders, they're going to mark that from the
so after the mark-off, it's going to put Mack.
Mark that from the spot all the way up to the 46. First and 10 at their own 46. Albert out of the gun. 7. Actually, we have a new quarterback now. Jaden Gum is still running. Breaks out of a tackle across the 50. Well, a flag comes out in the backfield. This one might be coming back.
Oh, now a flag came out on the sideline.
Flag's out on the sideline. Hadley Bacchus, senior, 6'3", is in a cornerback now. There was a initial flag, which I guess is holding, and then some kind of scuffle on the sideline at the end of the tackle. Might have been a late hit.
Yeah, it's a tough situation when you're a D-back driving a guy out of bounds on your opponent's sideline in a rivalry game. And
I guess we're going to have offsetting penalties here.
Yeah, yeah. Of course, Hadley Bacchus, the son of athletic director Shane Bacchus.
That's a last name I bet they mispronounce. Get there quite a bit.
Yes. Yeah, he's dad from the Hope area. That's one of those Hope names. But yeah, the officials taking quite some time trying to.
Of course, I get west. People mess it up all the time.
Yeah, officials. Here we go.
Unsportsmanlike penalties against Buhler, and they don't call one against McPherson.
Yeah, they hit Luca Gotti and Chase Gentry for the unsportsmanlike.
It's very un-Crusader-like, to be honest. You just don't see that kind of activity.
Yeah.
That pushes the ball all the way down to.
I'd seen Gotti. Gotti was the defender that ran the defender out of bounds.
They're going to mark off 2 15-yard penalties here. And Mack is going to have the ball down at the 12-yard line.
13-yard line.
Make it 13, first and 10. Bacchus, the new quarterback, out of the shotgun. Inside carry. Not much there for the Pups. Get 3 yards to the 10. It'll be second down there. Find out fairly certain that game will be at home next Friday night.
Yeah, we'll see how fast Keisha updates the website. I know over the weekend, it's kind of, if you have an early score.
Second week, barring an upset of some kind somewhere else. Second down at 7 here. With Bacchus out of the gun, high snap, fumbled, ball loose, and Bacchus is going to fall on it. Back at the 17-yard line. It'll be third down.
So we'll see if the Black Knight defense, right now you're playing for pride. Clock continues to run on the bad snap.
Well, they were icing Braden Gentry's ankle at one point over here on the sideline. He's got it iced up pretty good now. Third down and long. Bacchus to throw. Touchdown. Touchdown pass to Logan Roth.
So Bacchus, the senior.
Sprains. It's not season ending, but the only way for that ankle to get better is just for you to not use it.
Yeah. And no sense in getting him banged up tonight in a game that's already settled.
All right, they'll put the PAT through, and it is a full-on thumping here with 6:06 to play in the game.
.com High School football scoreboard. McPherson now up on Buhler 42-6. Conway Springs leading Trinity Catholic 42-0. Last score we had Central Christian was leading Norwich by a score of 34-6. Smoky Valley 35, Nickerson nothing. Solomon up on Pretty Prairie 36-20. That game in the third quarter. Hillsborough leading Lions 48-0. Sterling now up on Ellenwood 32-8. Little River be leading Gossel 32-8. Right now it's Kingman over Garden Plain 40-0. Couple of other area scores. Cheney leads Halstead 35-0. Wichita Collegiate 21, Heston 14. Marion and Sedgwick are tied at 14 at the half. Another final into us. Burton beating Altoona Midway 41-40. And Canton Galva a winner this evening over Rural Vista 62-0. With your score update, I'm Lucky Kid.
Even trying to enjoy a fun event can be difficult after the loss of a loved one. Unanswered questions, feelings of stress and grief are only natural. As the owner and director of Inman Funeral Home, I bring over 25 years of experience bringing comfort and empathy during time of loss. Rely on me to guide you through all aspects of planning a funeral service with compassion, dignity, and respect. I'm Athena Johnson with Inman Funeral Home. Find me at inmanfh.com.
Crusader football on HKFM.
And back here at Crusader Stadium, senior night for the kickoff at a 49-6 game. And it is taken back at the 12-yard line. Far side return across the 25. This game will be played at McPherson next year.
At their new facility, most likely.
There'll be some payback due, huh?
Yeah, it'll be. It's always the rivalry is always intense. You know, there's not a lot of games where there's customized shirts on both sides, and saw those coming into the game for both squads.
Smack Mac and
beat Buhler.
And
it was a great atmosphere. I mean, tough game, but you know, huge crowds for both squads. Beautiful night for football.
Crusaders from their own 28. 1st and 10, 5:59 to go in the game. And Jeffrey will hand it off. Near side run. Progress by Hirschberger. Actually lost a yard back to the 27.
Yeah, expect Buhler to just try to grind this clock out and get out of here and yeah, lick our wounds and get ready for the playoffs.
Second down, they'll stay in the I formation. Hirschberger again. Problem is that still 5.5 minutes to go.
Yes.
No gain on the play. It'll be 3rd and 11.
Well, the most points McPherson's ever scored in this series. I'm looking back through the records compiled by Mr. Miller, and this is the most points McPherson's ever scored against Buhler. Previous high was that 46-7 victory back in 18.
They're down at 11. They'll keep it on the ground. Run up the middle. Hirschberger across the 30 up to the 32. 4th down, and Buhler will have to punt again. Final scores coming up after the game. Final stats. Our player of the game as well. Gets ready for. Bounces at the 37, then rolls out of bounds near the 39. Actually, they're going to push it across the 40 up to the 42. With 6-man and 8-man action will get underway Thursday.
42-yard line. Yeah, there will be a fleet of high school.
Back from their own 42 here. 4:11 to go in the game. They'll put it on the ground. You'll start to see most of their guys out of the game as well. Well, Mac was the definitely the better team tonight. Interesting, this is a very senior-heavy McPherson team too. So
always really tough. I mean, it was always tough. That's where the victory in the JV game last year was such kind of a big deal to the senior class because they had really struggled historically against Mac.
Gain of a yard to the 43. It'll be 2nd down and 9. Third quarterback in now is Owen Fetch, 5'11" junior, hands it off up the middle. Forward progress to the 48.
Near the 48-yard line. Defense lead, tackling number 73, Lucas Anderson.
Start to see some different guys in on defense as well. Cruz Hirschberger out of that spread eye. 2nd down and 4, 3rd down and 4. And a carry here by Brock Richardson. Close to a 1st down and then pushed back. We'll see where the spot is. I think he's going to be short. Short at the 49. And 4th down coming up. 4th and about a yard for the Bullpups. Going to keep it on the field. McPherson will finish the regular season with a win at 7-1. Buhler will finish even at 4-4. Mac, it's a 50-point cushion on McPherson coming in. And Richardson, I don't think he got there. Stuff for no gain and a turnover on downs. Black Knights.
Alex Lee still
Not
battling.
quitting.
Yeah, Alex Lee teaming up along with Cruz Hirschberger to get the stop. So Buhler will get the ball back. And it looks like a second string offense will be coming out onto the field for Buhler. Some of the young men stepping out there. Blake Hageman.
I think it's 21 now.
Yeah, they've gone, and I know in the lower classes it's 21.
But anyway, no, you're not going to be able to. You got 50 points on somebody that can't gain or lose that many in a game. And how they determine those points is a right side run by Hirschberger is a score differential. So they might have made everybody 21 now. I'm not sure. Gain of 4, 2nd and 6 here from the 47 of McPherson. Out of the eye again. Hirschberger hit it at the point of a handoff, no gain, 3rd down.
Yeah, Gavin Weedle in on the stop. But yeah, no, I was just having the debate with one of our sports guys earlier today because they have the East-West formula in the lower classes, but that only comes into play if both teams have hosted the same amount of playoff games.
Right, if you've hosted fewer, you get to host.
Yeah, so we're having the debate, does that start off in the 2nd round or in the 3rd round? Which I believe it starts in the 2nd round in 3A and below.
I've always thought it was the 2nd round. They're down at 6. Hand off to Hirschberger again. Across the 45 to the 44-yard line, 41 seconds left. Peter can run the clock down and run one more play if they choose to. Yeah, I'm fairly confident it starts in the 2nd round.
Yeah, but it is interesting. You know what they measure the East and West off of? The front door of the school. I do know that, a little bit of tidbit, because sometimes you get those schools that are right on top of each other.
Final play of the game here. A handoff to Hirschberger, stuffed in the backfield. And hopefully they'll let this run down. Oh, they stop it with 2 seconds left. The players are all running off the field. Let's see if they force them to run one more play here or not.
Yeah, they're winding the clock. It's over.
All right, that'll do it. 49-6 is the final. All McPherson here tonight at Crusader Stadium on senior night. McPherson jumped out to that early 14-0 lead in the first quarter. They scored 3 more touchdowns in the second. And they had 2 more scores. Look at 3 more scores in the second half, including that INT return for a touchdown. 49-6 is the final. McPherson just the one loss to Junction City back early in the season. They improved to 7-1, and they'll win the league title outright at 5-0. And the Buhler Crusaders will finish the regular season at 4-4, and they'll finish 3rd in the league at 3-2. 49-6 is the final. Our Crusader Locker Room show begins next on HKFM.
Coverage of Crusader football continues next with the Crusader Locker Room Show. On the way, Aaron and Chris recap tonight's game, and we'll hear the post-game thoughts of head coach Steve Warner.
Teams, schools, and communities we all care about. Fee Insurance. Forward together.
Rise and shine. It's daylight time and time to go to your happy place. With kids back in school, that means fall flavors are returning to your Hutchinson Daylight Donuts. Bear claws, pine cones, pumpkin and apple spice cake donuts, and of course, all your favorite standards made fresh from scratch each morning. Order online and have them ready to pick up by going to HutchinsonDaylightDonuts.com. At 3rd and Main and 1435 East 30th, we're your Hutchinson Daylight Donuts.
Summit Surgical, and Pinnacle Rehabilitation and Sports Performance, together for your orthopedic needs. Now seeing physical therapy patients at Sterling College as well as our location in Hutchinson, enhancing the quality of your life and helping you return to the activities you love. Visit Summit online at summitks.com or call 620-665-7766 to make your consultation appointment. Summit Surgical and Pinnacle Rehabilitation and Sports Performance, together for exceptional health care.
Are you building a house?
A swimming pool?
Are your lights flickering?
Call Schmidt Electric.
That's Schmidt Electric. 620-960-6755. Schmidt Electric will take care of all your electrical needs.
Got Spock?
We're here to keep you rolling. Rod's Tire and Service.
Crusader football on HKFM.
Well, welcome in our Crusader Locker Room show coverage here tonight and all season long, brought to you in part by People's Bank and Trust, by Zaprino Prevention Network, by Prairie Star Health Center, by Hutchinson Community College, and by Fee Insurance. We'll start to puzzle together the 4A West. Wamego won tonight. We'll know they'll be the number 1 seed. McPherson will be the number 2. And Circle was winning pretty handily over Mulvane. And so the T-Birds will be the 3. There's a lot to figure out after that. We'll start to work on that for you. Here, 49-6. Boy, McPherson really established themselves right from the start of the game as the superior team. And you know, I think I don't want to take any credit away from McPherson at all. That's not my intent. There's some nights when you play better than you are. There's some nights where you play worse than you are. I don't feel like Buhler is as bad of a football team as somebody might be watching them for the first time saw tonight.
Yeah, I mean, because, and you talked about the snowball, Aaron, when you're a run team, that's your bread and butter. And you take a lot of pride in your defense, playing tough. The defense played tough tonight, but just big plays early on helped Matt get that separation. And, we've seen it before. If you're primarily a running team, it happens to anybody. You're a running team, you get down, you start having to throw the football a lot. One of the things Coach Warner talked about in the pregame, we don't want to throw the ball 20-some-odd more times a game. And I don't know what the final attempts will be, but we were definitely well over the 20 attempts passing tonight. And, and sometimes things start going against you in a game, it's tough to recover.
Here's interesting as we're watching scores. You looking at that 96-yard run by Lennox Van for Fort Scott. 96-yard touchdown run, 2-point conversion for Fort Scott, 8:03 left. Fort Scott and Coffeyville tied at 30. And it's now 36-30. Coffeyville has scored again. If Coffeyville wins, they will be they'll be the number 4 seed. So all of that back to talking about the Crusaders. A big thing too this year is and that snowball, when things aren't going your way. Just seems like every week, okay, who's going to get hurt this week?
Yeah.
And Braden Gentry, some sort of an ankle sprain tonight.
Yep.
Had ice on it at the end of the game, and there's another kid you just can't lose.
Yeah, he's an important guy, even though he didn't get that many carries. The fullback in the Buhler system, is the primary blocker for that tailback. And so when you're the lead block for that tailback in the Buhler system, that's pretty important. And then on defense,
as the Mike linebacker.
Yeah, he's the heart and soul of the defense. And so him being banged up, that literally doesn't just hobble him, but hobbles the entire Buhler team.
Wow, what a comeback there, huh? We've got all kinds of fun stuff for you in our
it's going to be interesting to see how how all that dust settles.
Yeah. So if you're Coach Warner, Coach Coles, the coaching staff in the locker room, and you just kind of have to, I think you learn from every game, but is this one of those games where you just take it and you say, okay, we're just going to put that film over here and reset?
100%. 100%. And it's perfect timing, too, with it being the playoffs, that you just go, man, it was a rough night. Things didn't go our way. We can't feel sorry for ourselves. We got to, circle the wagons, patch things up, and the new season begins.
Walls, you ever have one of those games where you're like, okay, this one doesn't count?
Yeah, and it very well might have been this game. I think that, expectation is, you're going to come in and at halftime you kind of change your mindset a little bit. And we saw that. Crusaders put points up on the board. They started to take bigger and bigger chunks. I thought it was really good to be able to involve guys other than Matt Eddy in the passing game, boost those guys' confidence. I loved how Jeffrey Neal scrambled tonight. We haven't seen very much mobility. It's been more of a pocket passer, sorry. When he had Matt Eddy running, now he makes plays, and then he lets his teammates make plays. And if you can get Jace Henderson and you can get Mitchell McDaniel healthy, as well as Braden Gentry now, if those guys all come back healthy, Matt Eddy gets a little bit of rehab. Gets a little better on his feet. This is a scary team headed into playoffs.
All right, we'll continue. More breakdown, final stats coming up. A lot of scores for you right now. Let's get Coach Warner in here as he gives us his post-game thoughts. Coach, I know that certainly not a lot of positive to talk about, I'm sure, tonight, other than your kids never quit. So defense is playing hard right there at the end.
Yes, they did. But just frustrated with the personal fouls. There's no excuse for that. It's unacceptable, and I just can't live with that. I can live with everything else that happened. Unfortunately, that it did happen, but that's just a lack of class, and it's definitely going to be addressed, and we won't tolerate it. That's embarrassing. The way we played isn't fun, but you just have to take it. And then like we talked about at halftime, we're young. Let's just keep getting better. Work hard. Make ourselves ready for the playoffs. Make ourselves ready for next week. And I think we did that. We had really the positive was that the third quarter was a really good quarter, and the offense finally was able to move the ball. We actually scored after the defense got the turnover. So to me, that's very, very important. And we did it in the air and we did it on the ground like we wanted to.
Is this one of those nights? Obviously, that snowball effect where it just builds and builds and builds. But I felt like if I was somebody seeing Buhler for the first time tonight, certainly much better than things appeared tonight.
Well, we have to take our hats off to them. They've got a very good team. We knew it. They have a ton of speed on defense, and we didn't move our feet. We didn't block very well. We didn't get any movement or when they gave penetration, and then we had a pass. It was supposed to take 1.7 seconds to throw, and we had somebody in our kitchen, and we got our arm hit and throw the interception because we couldn't hit in 1.7 seconds, and that's because they're aggressive and we didn't block very well. So those are frustrating things, but we have to look at what the four teams that we played and won. They definitely don't have the speed and the talent that McPherson has.
Hey, Coach, how do you handle this going forward? Do you spend a lot of time looking at this game, or do you just kind of set that to the side a little bit and say, hey, let's get back to what we were doing previously?
Well, we're not going to browbeat because they have to see it. They need to know, because every time that there's something that they do wrong, I guarantee you we'll find something fundamentally wrong. And as I say that, I'm talking about the offensive line and our two backs. Those two positions are probably the most critical. And if you don't take the proper step, you don't do that. And I guarantee you we're going to see that we didn't block like we were supposed to. Then we had blown blocking assignments when they brought the linebackers. We have enough people to pick up every linebacker they brought tonight. And we had two people go beside them and they didn't block anyone. Well, that's not what we teach. So the kids have to learn that because we have to be able to improve on that next week in case somebody wants to blitz. They saw that we didn't pick up blitzes very well.
Yeah, just a tough night all around for your kids. Good news is that you get to play at home next week, and you get another chance. And these kids, I think, have earned that for the most part this year. Glad to see that and get a chance to get a little redemption.
We have improved. We played a very good team tonight. There's a reason why they're the number 2 seed and they'll have a chance to take championship, I would imagine. They have a lot of talent, and we're young and inexperienced, and it shows when you play against somebody that's physically better than you. And what we got to do is we've got to get better from it and get ready for next week and win as many games as we possibly can in the playoffs, and then meet them again. We go play again, but let's win as many games as we can. Build for the future every day for this year. And I know our kids aren't going to give up. They've already proven that. They're not happy right now. None of us are, but they're going to keep fighting and keep playing. And we don't know who we're going to draw, but hopefully we get a decent draw and we can have win another game, and that'll guarantee not having a losing season. And there's a lot to play for, and there's a lot to be excited about because we've proven that we've turned things around. And we just played a really good team tonight.
All right, Coach. Well, we appreciate your time. We'll talk to you Monday night on our coaches show.
Thank you.
Head coach Steve Warner. Not sugarcoating anything. Pretty much, you told it like it is right there. There's some things that we can't tolerate, some things that we have to fix, and we'll get back at it. So.
Yeah, and in sports, we've talked about during games, sometimes I kind of have to have a short memory. And that's one of those things, like Coach said, they're going to watch film, go over the things they need to work on. But then come Monday, it's turn the page and start getting ready for the opponent that's going to come to Buhler next Friday night.
Now, see, I don't know about you, Carson, but I find this a little bit ironic because I hear coaches say things like that all the time. Let's have a short memory. Let's turn it around. But I know that coaches do not have a short memory.
Yeah.
I know that coaches remember every time they ever feel like they've been wronged in their career or a loss that you guys remember all of those things.
Yeah. Sometimes, yes, yeah.
Yeah, I think that it's something that you don't completely forget. You always have that in the back of your mind as a little bit of extra motivation. Fourth quarter, you're giving everything, and you think of that, and you're like, I don't want that to ever happen again. So you give that little extra motivation, and I think that Coach Warner said that he thought they did well in the second half, and that's what they needed to do to be able to have a great next week. We're getting a whole bunch of final scores in. The bracket is unofficially, with our interpretation of it, kind of setting itself up. So looking like a couple of teams, Wamego won tonight. They've already solidified that they're playing Winfield.
Yeah, they easily will be the top seed. And Mac, the 2, Circle, the 3. Looks like if Coffeyville holds on, they'll be the 4. And we'll come back, break it all down from there. Chris will have his final stats, and we'll get to our player of the game. That's coming up right after this. Crusader Football, our Crusader Locker Room show here on HKFM.
More of the Crusader Locker Room show is next. Stay tuned as we name tonight's play and player of the game. Stream Crusader Football on your phone or tablet with the Ad Astra radio app. 95.9 HKFM.
Hi, this is James with Idea Tech. We love bringing internet freedom to the residents and businesses of Buhler. Philosophy. That means you will talk to a live person from our office in Buhler when you call in. If you're not already a customer, go to ideatech.com and click on check availability. Or
therapy in the area. Our therapists at Advance may be able to see you without a referral. We pride ourselves on and see how we can help you live at your physical best.
Neufeld Flooring, proud support 620-543-2274. Go Crusaders.
Are you building a house?
A swimming pool?
Are your lights flickering?
Call Schmidt Electric.
That's Schmidt Electric. 620-960-6755. Schmidt Electric will take care of all your electrical needs.
Got Spock?
At Dick's Phillips 66, our grab-and-go food options and friendly service. Wherever you're headed, every journey begins with a stop at Dick's Phillips 66, 4th and Stevens in Hutch.
Season brought to you in part by Morton Salt by IVP Benefits Consulting.
And as always, want to make sure we thank Mr. Ethan Ricker, doing a great job keeping us informed. And we'll get you to the right stats here. So, total offense tonight. McPherson outgains Buhler 341 yards to 164 yards. McPherson averages 6.5 a play. Buhler averaging 2.5. Through the air tonight, get into some of the individual statistics. Hunter Alvord finishes 10 of 19 for 156 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Jayton Gum goes 1 for 1 for 24 yards, and Hadley Bacchus goes 1 for 17 yards, and a touchdown late in the game. Jeffrey Neal tonight for Buhler, finishes Wald, 10 carries for 77 yards and a touchdown for McPherson. Hunter Alvord, 13 carries for 58 yards. Brock Richards, Cruz Hirschberger, another one of the sophomores, 10 carries for 15 yards. Braden Gentry, 3 carries for 14. Matt Eddy, 9 for McPherson, 2 carries for 60 yards and a touchdown. Blaze Hoover, 5 catches for 33, and then Gottwald and Miller both with 1 catch. 5 catches for 29 yards. Luca Gotti, 2 catches for 15 yards. Tavian Gilliam with 1 catch for 10 yards. And Braden Gentry with 1 catch for 97 yards through the air compared to 95 for Buhler. Rushing, earlier in the game, McPherson had a massive advantage in first downs. That narrowed as the game went on. 16 first downs for Matt compared to 10 for Buhler. And those are really the statistics that jump off the page. Time of possession, Buhler actually had a slight lead in that by 4 minutes.
All right, let's look at a stat. It's kind of a difference maker in the game that stands out. Our Dix Phillips 66. Phillips stats of the game. 4th and Stevens and Hutch. Every journey begins with a stop at Dix Phillips 66. I think you just look right there at the yards per carry, or yards per play. McPherson 6.5. That'll get you first down. Every third play, 2.5. That's tough sledding.
Yeah, it's they're almost tripling you up there. But you know, the thing that you mentioned it when you talked to Coach Warner, the kids kept playing, and that's something that you got to take away from the game in a tough loss to a very good football team in MAC. And you know, both these teams had a head of steam coming into tonight. Both were on 4-game winning streaks. Somebody was going to come out of here with a win. Somebody's going to come out of here with a loss. So just got to hope for Buhler's sake, don't get her dauber down too much, and have that short-term memory and come out next week a swinging.
Yeah. I mean, you just kind of treat it as a bump in the road. The road's still going where you want it to go, and you got to stay on it and have confidence in yourself next week.
Yeah, I know that we've seen so much improvement in that offensive line. Tough for them to have the night that they did. Boy, you talk about player of the game. We really didn't talk about this because I'm not sure. It's one of those weeks where, there's some guys that didn't quit tonight. Really appreciate that.
Yeah,
so.
I would say Carson, I'm good with that.
Yeah, I think Braden Gentry had himself a night. He scored, played well, battled an injury, really led that defense, spied Alvord really well when he was in the game, and had a few big hits and key hits. And, you know, when an offense has to look at a middle linebacker exclusively and make sure they know where he is, it frees up other guys around him, like Will Heynen, who was untouched because they were so focused on where Braden Gentry was. So
yeah.
Braden Gentry had one heck of a night, played well, blocked well, ran well. He had a very good night.
All right, we will make Mr. Gentry our Rise Up Reno Rising Star of the game. Working together to strengthen families and promote healthy behaviors. Rise Up Reno Prevention Network. Back, final scores. Our Buhler Dental Care scoreboard. We'll update you on all that when we come back here. Crusader Football, the Crusader Locker Room Show on HKFM.
At Adams Brown, our clients are the center of everything we do. Hi, this is Brett Henry. We're proud to have been named to the Inside Public Accountants Top 200 Firms for our 5th consecutive year. Adams Brown, Strategic Allies and CPAs, above and beyond.
Hey fans, this is Rachel Nelson. It's game time and I Need a Cleaners can help you look like a winner. Spend your valuable time prepping for the game, not doing laundry. Keep your knit polos and khaki pants looking great. For the winning look, stop by I Need a Cleaners, 13th and Main in Hutchinson.
From their beginnings in 1989, Wifco Steel Products has grown to be the premier supplier of storage tank hardware in the U.S. and Canada, and they're still growing. Apply today at WIFCOSP.com. Wifco Steel Products, the experts in steel fabrication.
As your American Family Insurance agent in Hutchinson, I'm looking out for what matters to you, even when nothing's wrong. This is Sheila Metzger, agent at the Sheila Metzger Agency. Call me at 665-0400 and let's talk about your insurance needs today.
American Family Insurance.
The weather is changing and fall is here. Holly with Holly Sweet Treats. Come try our new fall flavors and be sure to order your Halloween cookies, cupcakes, and autumn treats. Follow us on social media. Come see us at 205 South Main in Hutchinson or call 888-YUM to place your order today.
From finding that perfect car for college, switching to the minivan life, or finally getting your dream ride, Midway Motors is ready to help. Stop by one of our 6 locations across central Kansas or learn more at midwaymotors.com. Midway Motors, for every mile of life.
Get the latest 5G devices at Next Tech Wireless. Now you can get the iPhone 14 Pro and the Samsung Galaxy S22 Plus on us, or up to $999 off any other device. And that's not all. You can also get half off a new Apple Watch when you bring your number to us. Next Tech Wireless. We are Kansas.
Crusader football on HKFM.
Well, we have a passel of scores to bring along to you, but it's looking more and more like Buhler will be the 7 or the 8 in the West. Still 2 games undecided. Coffeyville tied late in their game, and I believe was Eldo in overtime too.
Yeah, the last update I can find still is the end of the overtime score, Independence 30, El Dorado 30. I'll keep checking on that.
And then Coffeyville and Fort Scott were tied at 36 near the end of regulation. Well, 4A finals we have. In the West, we know Wamego is going to be the 1 seed. They blank Abilene tonight, 49-0. So Abilene will lose the maximum amount of points you can lose in a week. Salina Central beat Arc City tonight, 49-8. Circle will be the 3 seed in the 4A West. They beat Mulvane 40-14. Augusta comes from behind. They were down 20-0. 21-20.
Just got a score update. El Dorado won in double overtime, 38-33.
Eldo in double overtime over Indy, 38.
I want to thank News Director Lucky Kid with that.
To 33.
Hot off the press update.
So Augusta won 21-20. Liberal beat Ulysses tonight, 42-19. Andover Central over Valley Center, 38-14. Wellington beats Rose Hill, 29-7. So what I can tell you is Wamego the 1, Buhler the 2, or McPherson the 2, Circle the 3. If Coffeyville wins, they will be the 4. If they lose, then there's a 3-way battle of teams there at 5 and 3. But between Coffeyville, Wellington, and Andover Central, they will occupy 4, 5, and 6, all at 5 and 3. Then you have Buhler and Abilene, both at 4 and 4. One will be the 7, one will be the 8, and those will be the 8 teams that will host a first-round game. So
I just, Aaron, I don't know if we talked about it on the air or just talked about it before we went on air. Tell them about the tiebreaker procedure, because that just fascinates me.
So winning percentage is obviously, then it goes head-to-head, which makes sense. Then it's the points system. They get into this whole, you can gain so many points in a win, you can lose so many points in a loss, and they average that out. Then it goes to a lot. Number 4, we're drawing lots. Good luck.
And that cracks me up, because back in the day when I was a coach and teacher, they didn't draw lots. They would have a coin flip. And here's the classic thing. With the coin flips, people would drive to the town to get to watch the coin flip live, so it wouldn't be one of those things. There was just some towns you didn't maybe trust them clipping the coin and telling you over the phone, I mean, you lost.
We're going like, this is like a biblical practice. So we're going back BC to draw lots here is what we're doing.
Well, what are you seeing, Carson, on?
So Coffeyville scored their first possession of overtime, went for 2 and made it. Fort Scott just ended up scoring. They just called their last timeout of this overtime period to talk about their next 2-point conversion. So Coffeyville stops them, they win, and they get the 4 seed. If not, based off what I'm kind of interpreting in the Keisha website, they're going to get bumped all the way down to the 6th, and Central and Wellington will jump them.
I'm glad you guys are looking at all these numbers.
Well, it all comes down really, in my mind, it all comes down to how they rank Abilene and us.
Yeah. We're
and that's really what matters.
Yeah, we're waiting on the Keisha website to update our score, and what we're looking at is the average point differential. Buhler lost by more than 13, and right now we're a positive 2.86. Abilene is completed their 8 games, and so their final point differential is in the system as .38.
I think so. Abilene had 16 points coming into this round. We had 7. We both lose the maximum, so we can't catch them, is basically how that works. So I think Buhler will be the 8.
Okay.
And likely Rose Hill?
I believe so.
I think Rose Hill will be here next week. That's what I think. Rose Hill lost tonight. They fall to 3-5. They are the only 3-5 team. Arc City lost, so they fall to 2-6. So I think it'll be Rose Hill here next week. That's my best prediction, anyway. All right, Chris, give us some other scores on the network tonight.
Yep, I'll get to that here in just a second. So elsewhere on the Ad Astra Sports Network, over on the Ad Astra Radio app, Little River defeats Gossel in Wheat State League action tonight, 60-14. Hillsboro blows out Lions tonight, 55-14. So that will send Hillsboro to Kingman for that first round action next week. Sterling gets the big win over Ellenwood tonight, 38-14. And this was not on the network tonight, but just kind of note. Central Plains and Wilson played tonight. They're both in the same school district. Wilson's closing at the end of the year. There's just a little bit of bad blood there. I'm really good friends with the junior high football coach there, but Central Plains defeats Wilson in their final football game of all time, 46-12. Inman had a big win tonight over Medicine Lodge, 58-6. And I'm trying to see games. Conway Springs defeats Trinity Catholic tonight, 42-7. So I believe that'll send Trinity Catholic out to Plainville for first round action next week. And we already mentioned earlier on Kicks 106, Kingman had a big win over Garden Plain, 40-7, and Kingman having a fantastic season. They are undefeated in Class 1A action.
And we should mention all these prognostications that we're making are nothing official.
Yeah, definitely unofficial what you're hearing.
Don't take to the bank the things that we say.
Yes,
because
sure.
we don't know. We're just trying to do quick math in our head, and this is this, and this goes here, and this is what we think happens. It's interesting. So there's really 2 websites to follow. There's Keisha and there's K-Preps. While I'm looking for Buhler and Abilene, they're the 2 teams we're interested in. K-Preps has Buhler in final and not Abilene. Keisha has Abilene in final and not Buhler. Go figure.
Go figure. Nobody wants to help us out.
Well, I always used to tell kids and parents it isn't gospel until it's on the Keisha website. So
yeah, that's true.
That is true. Yep. So Fort Scott had like 2 or 3 attempts, a whole bunch of penalties, I believe. They ended up tying it 44-all from what this stream is saying, and looks like we're headed to another period of overtime.
So that'd be triple OT?
Right now the stream just says OT, so I'm going to assume that it's the start of the second.
Okay.
When does it end?
I have no idea.
Oh, it keeps going.
Oh, my goodness gracious. All right, well, we're going to get out of here because they're going to turn the lights off. And, hey, join us Monday. We'll break down tonight's game, and we'll lay out the playoffs for you, where Buhler's going to be, when, who their opponent is going to be. We'll do that all Monday night at 6:30 on our Crusader Coaches Show live from Taco John's with Coach Steve Warner. Sterling College football coming up tomorrow on the network as the Warriors are on the road at Bethel. That is a 1 o'clock kick and a 12:30 pregame here on HKFM. A lot of college football, KU and Baylor. 9:30 pregame tomorrow over on 94.7 KSKU. And then the Chiefs, of course, have the late afternoon game at San Francisco on Sunday. And that'll be a 2 o'clock pregame with Mitch Holtis and company over on 96.7 KMPK. So lots of football this weekend. Coaches show on Monday, and a tough loss tonight, 49-6 for the Crusaders. Coffeyville and Fort Scott have gone to double overtime, triple overtime, tied at 44. And so it may be a while for that one is final, but definitely tune in Monday night. We'll get you set for week 1 of the playoffs coming up next Friday. Thanks so much for tuning in. Have a fabulous weekend for our entire crew. Carson Moeller, Chris Schenk, I'm Aaron West. Have a pleasant good evening. You've been listening to Crusader Football here on